We back again with another episode of the Star-Studded Panel. I hope y'all had a good weekend because there was a lot of good basketball being played this weekend. And some teams in the West specifically are rolling right now. Now, before we get into that, we're going to talk about everything that happened this week. We're going to talk about OKC's 2 big wins. We're going to talk about the Nuggets getting popped. We're going to talk about a certain 3-way tie out west. As a matter of fact, let's start with that. Morris, you got stock in the team out west, right?
I got stock in the NBA, but
nah, you got stock in the NBA for sure. Hey, Morris, you got a good investment portfolio. You got stock spread all around the NBA, but you have a lot of stock in Houston. How you feeling about your boys?
They're a team I like. Fred VanVleet came back and they started winning again. So, Fred is helping his case for that new contract. But, I'm happy. I know we're the 2 seed right now. We're tied with like 3 teams. The Lakers, if they win their 2 games they have to even up the games played, could make it a 4-way tie. But I'm confident Houston going to be in the playoffs. And I think that's whatever seed they are. If they get home court, that's a bonus. If they get the 2 seed, that's amazing. But Houston being in the playoffs is going to be great. For the NBA, for the young guys on the team, for Ime Udoka, for everyone. So, yeah, I'm happy. We play tonight. I can't remember who we play. But we should win. I know our schedule's favorable, so
y'all got the Sixers tonight. So
Quentin Grimes been going crazy, but yeah. Quentin Grimes been going crazy, so I don't know. But yeah, we should win. Hopefully we can keep the 2 seed. That's the goal. But as long as we're in the playoffs, I'm happy.
Yo, Manny, what's going on? Before I ask you any questions about the Rockets, I just want you to introduce yourself to the people, let them know where they can find you, and let them know what your specialty is.
First off, man, what's up, everybody? Thanks for having me on. Of course, I really do appreciate it. My name is Manny Wilson, host of the Run with Manny Wilson podcast, the first interactive sports podcast. So it's on all the podcast platforms if anybody want to go check it out. As you can tell, man, I'm a big Pistons guy. We cover all sports, but I'm a big Pistons guy. I'm always going to rep the Pistons, and this is the best time to ever rep them, but we can talk about that a little bit later.
Ever?
Not ever, but it's been a long time.
It's better than ever. It's better than it's been. It's better than it's been.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Got you.
Very long time. So, I'm just really happy to be able to kind of come out of my shell again and really brag on my team. So, but yeah, again, we'll talk about that a little later. But as far as like a lot of the teams out west, man, Rockets, I think they got a good chance so far. They've been looking pretty decent, and I think getting Freddie back is definitely a huge impact on just being able to control offensive aspect and then also the defensive aspect as well. He's helping them out a lot in that area as well. But now you don't see a stagnant offense because he's able to distribute the ball to the other guys on that team. So that's been the biggest thing that I've noticed with the Houston Rockets.
Yo, and in case you don't know, it is a 3-way tie out west. And this is just alarming to me that it's March 17th. Happy St. Patrick's Day, by the way. And we have a 3-way tie out west for the number 2 spot. And so I'm like down the stretch. How y'all feeling about this?
We have the easiest schedule.
Hold on. Yeah, I think the Rockets could hold on to it. Mm-hmm. I think they could hold on to that 2 spot
because of the schedule.
That's why Minnesota doing what they're doing. They won their last 8 games. I mean, they 13-0 with Julius Randle in the lineup, and this schedule that they have, we already went over it. It's ridiculously favorable for them. If you look at if you look at who they have coming up, like later on, so there's no reason why they can't continue to win. Considering how Ann has been playing, how much better Julius Randle has been since they've been back in the lineup. And like they got Indiana tomorrow. They got New Orleans twice. They got Indiana again. They got Phoenix. They got your Detroit Pistons. And then they got 6 games where they got Denver, Brooklyn, Philly, Milwaukee, Memphis. This is a tough part of their schedule. And Brooklyn and Utah to finish out the season. I mean, these last 12 games, I think they can win 9 of their last 12. I don't think that's ridiculous to think that they can't win 9 of their last 12. So, and they would if they ended up staying where they are because what's going on in the Western Conference, because Golden State ain't losing. I think they 13-1 since they had Jimmy. So if they end up in that 7th spot, I mean, that means that Houston would have to see Minnesota in the first round. Mars, how you feel about your Rockets
Hell of a
against
matchup.
how you feel about them in the first round against Minnesota? Considering, I mean, I know how you feel about Julius Randle, but how you feel about your Rockets?
Yeah,
against
Julius
Minnesota
Randle
in
been
round
hooping.
one?
So
He has been.
how I feel about
100% he has been.
I'm gonna give credit to Julius
Mhm.
Randle when it's due. He been hooping.
Yes, he has.
I think I've made it very clear. I think Houston lose to whoever they play in round one. But I think besides maybe Memphis if they were able to see them, but I think we're past that point where that's going to happen unless it's a 4-5. But I think they can compete with Minnesota. They can steal some games. It'll be close.
Yep.
I'd probably have Minnesota in. I'll say 6. I'm leaning towards 5, but I'll say 6. But any playoff experience is going to be good for the Rockets, win, lose, or draw. If they get to the second round, that's a bonus. And if somehow they get to the conference finals, then way ahead of schedule. So that doesn't matter. But I know the Rockets play the Nuggets twice. I think those games are going to be huge. One of them's the last game of the season. We'll see how important that ends up being. But we do play them this month. That game could determine a lot. So if Houston can win that game, depending on what they do in the games leading up to that, Philly, Orlando, Miami, those are the 3 games before that Denver game. If they go into that Denver game winning these 3 games that I think they should win, that Denver game could be a big deal. If they can win that, then they might have the 2 seed, which would be great. But I still have them losing in round 1 regardless.
I think the problem that we have I think you got the same problem in terms of offense that Minnesota has, especially late in games. But do I trust? The question that I need to ask myself is, do I trust your defense more than I trust Minnesota's offense? And I do. I trust your defense. I trust Amen Thompson to get stops more than I trust Julius Randle or Ant Edwards to make the correct reads, considering what your defense could be. And I mean, last I checked, I know that. I know that you haven't been particularly favorable of your guys. I think y'all what y'all on a 6-game winning streak right now? Something like that?
6-game winning streak, yeah.
Six game winning streak?
Or 7-3 in the last 10.
Rolling right now. Absolutely rolling. I was high on this Houston team before the season started. And the fact that your defense is what it is, right? The fact that your defense is what it is, and I think you've had 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you've had 3 games where you've held those teams under 100. Now I know it's New Orleans. And I know
one
it's
of
Orlando.
One of them's Orlando, and the other
I know one of them is Orlando, 100%. But you still got to play defense because we've seen New Orleans. Didn't we see the Lakers give up like 115 to them or something like that?
Yeah, no, we defended because we defended Zion quite well in both those games. So that's cool. The Magic guard themselves. I don't know. The Magic guard themselves. So that is what it is. And the Mavs, it was cool. But we're at the point of the season where the Mavs are just playing people. And
yeah, they don't have any guys.
Yeah. With all due respect, shout out to Brandon Williams.
Yeah.
I don't know who he was before he started giving the Rockets buckets. Yeah, I don't know
who is he, Ron?
My fault, but he was
he a point guard. I know Brandon Williams because he played with my cousin for the Blazers 2 seasons ago. And he was that's the year where Dame went down, or Dame got traded. That's the year where CJ went down. That's the year where Anthony, he stopped playing towards the end of the season. That's the year where Nurkic got hurt too. So he was, they basically put him in a point guard and let him run the last 25 games of the season. And he was doing all right for real. He was if you didn't, let's say that, because I think he went to Arizona. If he would have been a lottery pick, you would be like, okay, this dude can go. But since he was a 2nd round pick or whatever, it was just okay, who is this guy? We're not paying him no mind. You know how that type of thing goes.
What year was that, Ron? Was that the year we got the last little bit of Justice Winslow?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I remember that season. Yeah.
Since he's been, because I had to do research because he gave us 25. I don't know what was going on. Since he's been in the rotation, the last 6 games he's played and he's been getting legitimate minutes, he's averaging 19. So shout out to Brandon Williams. Maybe he keeps a job in the NBA somewhere, whether that's in Dallas or elsewhere. But he was frying the Rockets.
It's the time for him to hoop. Ain't nobody else there playing right now. So
yeah, he got job security right now for the rest of the season.
I apologize for stepping a little late. What was I hearing a Wolves Rockets debate? Is that what
It's not a debate.
That's what I want. That's where we need to stay right there, Swipe. I'm happy you got us right back there. I'm just curious, Chill. You said you got Min Thompson making these real stops in the playoff against Anthony Edwards.
I think he can. Yes, I do. I
He
think
got locked down.
You got a lot of faith in the kid because
I do,
you got him stopping Ja in the playoffs.
Wait, Chill, you think the Rockets would beat this Wolves team in the series?
No.
I'm not playing the Rockets cheap.
I'm not going that far. I'm not going that far.
Well,
but I don't
but I think we're playing the Rockets cheap. Mars, I know how you do, Mars. Right quick swipe, Mars. I know how you do. You buy low, and if you have opportunity to sell high, you'll do that. I'll take the Jalen Green less. If he hits more, then I'm happy. If he doesn't, then I expect it less. But the thing about it is, y'all got action against the Wolves.
Mars don't want to get his hopes. Mars don't want to get his hopes up.
I think we can compete. I just think the Wolves are going to win. I think we can compete. I think in most first round series, I think we can compete. Just our lack of offense is going to we're going to lose because we won't be able to score. But I do think we can compete. We're a tough team, and no one's gonna want to play us. It's gonna be so physical and taxing.
No one's gonna want to play the Rockets.
Yeah, you don't want to go through a first round series that you're getting beat up for 6 games. You don't want to play that.
I don't personally. I think if I had any
whatever. You can think of it. No team in the first round wants to get beat up for 5 or 6 games. No team wants to do that. They want to go through a first round series, win, lose or draw. Even if it's a 7-game series against a different team, that's the Rockets. If it's not physically taxing, they would rather that than go through a series where they get beat up the whole time.
Swiper, do you want to be in a 6-7 game dogfight with the Rockets?
If I could, it's not going to be a 7-game dogfight. I'm not even.
It doesn't need to be 7 games. I know. It can be 5 games.
That's sure. I get what you're saying. I appreciate your perspective. What I'm responding to is also saying that if we're responding to this among the field of 8 teams, then the Rockets would be the first team that I would want to see. And then if we're just talking about the Wolves. So if we're going, just to get through this. Also too, I don't think people realize that. Not again, this is more so to the public.
Sure.
Since January 1st, which is over almost half the year now, it will be half the year here soon. The Wolves have the 6th best offense in the NBA, and they've had the 7th best defense in the NBA. They have been legitimately a scary team.
So,
you know what I mean?
and with that being said, Swiper, everything that you just mentioned of the teams that they've gone up against, right? Of the teams that they've gone up against, have they seen a defense like what Houston can potentially be in the playoffs?
I have a disagreement with you on what Houston's defense has been, though, Joe.
100%, right? So when I watch Houston on defense, and I saw the lags earlier in the mid-season, but we've seen teams throughout the course of the season.
We've picked it back up again.
100%.
Since the trade deadline, we're number 2 in defense. We picked it back up.
So and Minnesota struggles on offense late in games. That's just how they are. So now you're going to run up against it. Now you're going to run up against a team like the Houston Rockets. For all intents and purposes, Ox doesn't see what I see in a Min Thompson. I don't see an all-league defender. I see the best perimeter defender in the game potentially.
What?
That's what I see when I watch him.
Well, right now, he can be that.
That's what I see. I see potentially the best perimeter defender in the game. That's what I'm looking at when I watch him. And in the process of that, I also see a guy who, as young as he is, as smart as he is, and as physical as he is, and he doesn't back down. And he makes a lot of smart plays. That's why I think he could wear Ja down. So if they're not going to see,
I'd rather play the Rockets defense than play the Warriors defense right now. I mean, if you're just telling me in a playoff setting, Draymond, Jimmy Butler, with Gary Payton, with the rest of that roster, a more experienced unit with a bunch of people that played at a high level and through the finals, and then even including Jimmy Butler, Nick Smith. Yep. Yeah, I mean, of course. I think that just being a veteran and having experience in those settings is more important. I think in a playoff setting, teams are going to play differently too. Defense will be played differently. Defense will be more physical. A lot of these rebounding teams, you wouldn't even have to be big, but I think dealing with Şengün, dealing with Jabari if he's healthy, obviously, hopefully he's there. Dealing with Min Thompson, dealing with the rest of it. I mean, I think they'll be a good team to face. But even from a physicality standpoint, I mean, they're going to be the Wolves are extremely physical. Okay, so this is why my whole thing with Mars. I think Houston is physical. OKC's very physical. Denver's very physical. The Wolves are very physical. The Lakers are very physical. Really, honestly, Memphis is physical. So I think even if you I don't think in the Western Conference, I think it's really difficult to find somebody you're going to play against, and those teams are going to be soft per se, or softer than the Rockets. I think there's a line. I think the Rockets are right at that line, but I think there's probably 5 or 6 teams that are in that bracket of like they're all going to beat you up, and it's going to be a dogfight to get through that series.
But for the Rockets, that's their brand.
Most
Their whole
coaches
brand.
and players
For the
when they've
Rockets,
gone against the
that's
Rockets,
what they build themselves off of. Like they've maintained that identity of being a physical team that's gonna punish you every time you drive to the rim, and that's like become their style of basketball. And I know there's other teams like that, but for the Rockets, with the guys they got there, I just feel like they would be able to perfect that more and even amp it up a little bit because the refs don't let it slide some more come playoffs. So I feel like they would be able to turn it up a notch compared to what we've seen in the regular season.
Do you think they're more physical than OKC?
Playoffs. One more time.
Do you think they're more physical than OKC?
Yes, without a doubt. OKC is little down low. Chet is getting bodied. He's gonna get bodied.
I ain't saying all that. Yeah, I ain't saying all that, but we are more physical.
I think Oklahoma City creates turnovers in a different way. But Swiper, back to your point about Houston and Golden State. I mean, we've seen experienced teams get the door shut on them in the playoffs. As good as they are defensively and as good as they are offensively. So we're talking about a Houston team that with Dylan Brooks, for all intents and purposes, I know how you feel about him, but one thing Dylan Brooks does, he will defend. 100% he will defend. Jabari will defend. Amen Thompson will defend. Steven Adams is a glass cleaner. And you guys know how I feel about glass cleaners. That's how you stop possessions. Steven Adams will rebound. Sengun will rebound. So when I think about them going up against a Minnesota team, and we've seen Julius Randle wither in the playoffs, going up against a defense like that, that'll be a problem for him, a huge problem for him.
For who?
Julius Randle is the one I'm not worried about the physicality. He'll be fine. Sure. He relishes physicality. Everyone else, we're going to lose to the Timberwolves. I'm not saying that. I just don't think anyone wants to.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying it's going to win neither, Mars. I'm not saying that.
I just don't think anyone wants to play a team like the Rockets. And teams, coaches, players, when they go against the Rockets, have all made a very clear and loud statement about the Rockets' physicality. Yes, I think the West is physical. I think a lot of teams you said are physical. Some of them, not so much. But I think the West is a physical conference. I still think the Rockets come out on top in that physicality battle because they relish it, and that's the only way they can compete. Like, let's call it what it is. They can't compete skill for skill. They can't match other teams skill-wise. They can't. That's why the half-court offense sucks. That's why they're the best offensive rebounding team in the league. That's why they play as physical as they do on defense. That's why they switch everything and everyone, Amen Thompson, Dylan Brooks, Tari, Jabari, they're getting up into you and they don't give up threes as well because of how relentless they kind of are on the perimeter. Like, it's a team you don't want to play against. But you can win, you could sweep them and you'll feel like you've played a 7-game series because of how taxing it is playing against them.
Which you don't.
That's why I don't think anyone wants to play against them. Not saying no one wants to play against them. We might lose. I think every team knows if we could. Who do we think we're more likely to beat? Rockets will probably be number one on that list. But who do you not want to play? The Rockets are probably also quite high on that list. Not number one, obviously. No one wants to see OKC. You probably don't want to see Bron and Luka. That's cool. You don't want to see Jokic. That's cool. But you don't want to play any of those top 6 teams. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to play none of them. You don't want to play Houston. No one's like, let's play Houston. I don't think anyone wants. Maybe besides the Warriors. I don't think
NBA players kind of think about it that way. But I guess if I was like, if you put True Serum against somebody, even with all the physicality stuff, right? Like, I think JJ deserves massive credit because he's basically turned a very small team into an uber physical team because they have no other choice. Like that, they have to be physical because they don't have the size to do without. I think the Kings are very physical. Like, I don't know if you watch the Kings a lot.
Playoff teams. We're talking about playoff teams.
We're gonna make the playoffs.
Yeah, the Kings might.
We're gonna be in the playoffs.
The Kings might make it. Yeah, I mean the Kings are very physical. Sabonis is physical. The Clippers are physical as crap. That's another team that got a lot of physicality on the inside. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, it really matters. This ain't no running. Like, you go get hit in the face. Like, somebody's gonna punch you.
Oh my God, y'all are gonna be so pissed when we knock off the Thunder the first round.
I believe it. What,
so pissed when Debo
everything I said yesterday. Does that.
Yo, Swiper, when Debo come through and snatch all them little chokers them pups got.
I think it's possible. It's possible.
They got them little pups got chokers.
Man, you think what's possible?
Coming through
it's possible the Kings can get OKC in the first round, bro. I believe it.
How?
We got DeMontis Sabonis.
You got the 4th best player in the series. Okay?
I know it's how, but OKC got defenders and they're a good team. They're playing good.
Is he better than Harden in that series?
We got the second, third, fourth, and we got the second, third, and fourth best players in that series.
Who?
They got Shea. They got
DeMar?
Shea, but we got DeMontis, Zach, and DeMar better than everybody else.
Y'all got the individuals, but the thing for the Kings is gonna be if they can actually finally get to play as a team. Like if everybody can get on the floor and like play together as one unit. Like that's gonna be the biggest thing because they got the individuals without a doubt. Like on paper, that team is, you can argue, one of the best in the West on paper. But that team playing as a unit is gonna be the toughest part for the Kings, and if they can ultimately beat.
Do they have a point guard? My bad, Ox. My bad. Malik.
Yeah, they got Malik Monk. Yeah, they got Malik Monk.
But Malik Monk, not even a true. I mean, I don't say he's a true PG. He's a great player. I love what he do. But Malik Monk was used a majority of the season as somebody who's coming off the bench, shooting as much as he wants, give you 20 off the bench, and then now he's helping the Kings keep the lead or extend the lead by 12 points because he's coming off the bench, knocking down threes and scoring the ball. But now him being a one, now he's forced to be a facilitator and change his role from what he plays so greatly as a just coming off the bench and shooting the lights out. Like that makes a big difference.
We don't need no point guard. We just gonna get the ball. We just gonna get the ball up the court.
Just get
we just gonna get the ball up the court.
Boom, boom. Foul ball.
Thank you, Swab. We gonna
Swing,
get the
swing,
ball on.
swing.
We gonna get the ball from over there.
Chill. Middy,
So y'all winning off of ISO ball. Y'all beating OKC.
Yep. DeRozan ISOs.
They're gonna get smoked. What are you talking about?
Chill. That series is over in 2 games.
Are you kidding me? I can't.
No, that's facts. Y'all gonna win 2 games playing ISO ball like that.
No, that series is over in 2 games.
That's it.
Hey, OKC gonna come and put their foot so far up your ass in that first game. They ain't never gonna get their right shoe back. Second game, they're gonna put their left foot so far up your ass that they ain't never gonna get their left shoe back, and they're gonna lose their socks and everything. Hey, after the first 2 games, they about to do y'all so dirty. Everybody's gonna know that this series is over.
Yeah.
Hey, when you go back to sack, they're gonna be like, it don't even matter. It's over. It's over.
So anyways, like I said, I have no intention on trying to convince y'all 5 or anybody in the chat.
Whoa. I said that DeMarcus was an MVP level player last year.
Cool. That's cool.
I said OKC losing their sneakers.
All I'm saying is I have no intentions on. I have no intentions on convincing any of y'all of anything. All I'm saying is y'all just gonna be pissed and happy. And I'll move on from there. I don't got. That's it.
On paper, they solid.
Look, I just want to say this. We have 1 minute, Ron. Before we got to get to whatever, I gotta remind you. This is what I'll say. As somebody who had to do a deep dive into the Wolves for the PCL, Ron, I'm telling you, Ron, I watched all of your PCL hosting. You on your phone, falling asleep, timers are going off, but the meal's done in the oven, is cooked, the chicken's burning. I'm just over here, just like, yo, where my dog at, man?
Speaking of the meals being done, y'all, Factor Meals is back and it's better than ever. If you hungry, fret no longer because Factor has ready to optimize nutrition this year. Factor has chef-made meals, gourmet meals, chill, that make eating, well, easy as possible. They are dietitian approved and ready to heat and eat in 2 minutes. Don't you like something that's easy to heat and eat? So you can fuel right and feel right no matter what life throws at you. Now, Factor has fresh and fully prepared, perfect for any active and busy lifestyle meals. You can lose up to 8 pounds in 8 weeks. Swiper lost up to 20 pounds in 2 weeks. Get like him with Factor Keto Meals. Now, based on randomized controlled clinical trial and Factor Keto Meals, results will vary depending on just your diet and exercise. With 40 options across 8 dietary preferences on each menu for each week, it's easy to pick meals tailored for your goals. You can choose from preferences like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, or Keto. And chill, don't forget, the meals are always gourmet. Now, Factor, it can help you be your best all day long with wholesome smoothies, breakfast, grab-and-go snacks, and more add-ons. So reach your goal this year with ingredients that you can trust and convenience that you can't beat. So what are you waiting for? Eat smart with Factor. Get started at factormeals.com/playerschoice50 off. Use code playerschoice50 off to get 50% off your first box plus free shipping and handling. That's code playerschoice50 off at factormeals.com/playerschoice50 off to get 50% off your first box with free shipping. Gourmet meals. Yes, indeed. And if that isn't enough, the Gametime app. Now, after you go ahead and get you a nice good box from Factor Meals, this is where you need to go to enjoy the rest of your night. So let's talk about the NBA games for a second. You know, that good old playoff intensity where we got games going wire to wire. We got upsets like what the Kings are about to do to the OKC Thunder. And, you know, just that NBA action that is non-comparable to anything else. Well, with the MVP of ticketing apps, Gametime app, there's no competition in getting the seats that you need come playoff time. So let me break it down for you. Gametime makes ticketing so easy that even your granny can do it. 2 taps on your phone and boom, you're in. You want to see your seats before you buy it? Your seats before you buy them? They got it. Don't want to deal with sneaky fees? They got all-in prices, no surprises. Oh, and last-minute seats. Gametime's like, don't even sweat it. We got tickets all the way up until tip-off. That's beautiful. But wait, there's more. Gametime guarantees that they got you covered like a lockdown defender. Yes, Amin Thompson. If you found cheaper seats in the same section or row, they'll credit you up to 110% the difference. Did you lose your job like Ox? Don't worry. They'll refund you the money. Is the event canceled? Don't worry. They'll refund you the money. So what the heck are you waiting for? Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use code CLNS. Let me spell it out for you. CLNS. CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply, obviously, but come on. It's $20 off. That's an easy layup. Download the Gametime app now. Last minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. Now go make you some memories and go get you a Factor Keto meal. All right, y'all.
Hold on for a second, Ox. This your man talking to you, Ox. All right, this your man talking to you. Ox, talk to me, and I ain't asking you to convince me. I just need to hear your logic on why you think 4 times in a week y'all could beat Oklahoma City. This your man talking to you. I ain't asking you to convince me. I just want to know why you think y'all could beat them 4 times in 8 days.
I'm serious when I say this, chill.
I'm listening.
Domantas Sabonis.
He's the difference in the series.
He's the big difference in the series. A big difference. Chet and iHeart are in hell.
Yeah.
In hell. Just living.
Now, you and me had this conversation. There's not many guys in the league that want to fight with Sabonis all night. That part I won't argue. Right? I won't argue that part. What I'm asking,
that's one of them series. You know what I'm saying? Like when it comes up, that's one of them series I see. You know, like when you laying down your sports bets. I don't know if like, you know what I'm saying, if y'all really do that, but you know, you laying down your sports bets, you look like, okay, all these series, that's the one with some really big odds where it's like that team really would beat that team in a 4-game series. Not supposed to, unlikely, but personnel wise, it's like what bro was saying, what Manny was saying. Personnel wise, we got it. Like I think we got the edge right there. Plus, when the game slow down and all that, I don't care about all that rah running around and stuff. Can't none of them little boys guard Domantas Sabonis, and none of them guard Debo. So it's just like Debo. None of them little boys can guard Debo. None of them little boys can really bang with Domantas. And Zach LaVine can get hot. Leak can get hot. I just look at it that way. Personnel wise, if we both playing great basketball, they getting their ass whipped.
All right, y'all. I'm about to end this nonsense. Only because usually I let you ramble and do what you got to do.
I'm not rambling because you asked me a question. I just answered the question. I wasn't talking about this.
But only because Jason Grill sent through a $50 super chat. And he wanted me to wait for y'all to get up here. But by the time y'all got up here, we was already in a conversation. And on top of that, you niggas was just late anyways. Jason Grill said, Ron, read this when everyone is up. Shout out to Mars and Ox for the Paul Pierce, Manu, and Reggie Miller love. Most underrated players ever, in my opinion. And don't get enough love because the stats don't tell how good these players was.
Well, that's what happens. That's what happens in a lot of basketball. It's a lot of underappreciated stuff because people don't really watch, and when they do watch, they don't know what they're looking at. So they just base it on stats and base it on who ESPN is praising, base it on who Sports Center and all those guys praise, and that's where they get that. That's who they decide to like as basketball players. So you know the great ones like Manu and Paul Pierce, Reggie, those guys they fall under the radar. But shout out
Like
to
how should we be talking about Manu Ginobili that we don't talk about him? How should we be talking about him?
We should just talk about it more because a lot of times
the way Jordan described me today, said anybody could have. He wasn't that good because he was playing who he was playing next to. We had an argument about this. I think Manu's underrated for sure. Paul not as much, but I think Manu's definitely underrated.
Like, how should we be talking about Paul Pierce the way we talk? Like the way we talk about Paul. This is a Finals MVP. Like, I think he made the All-Pro team like what 3 or 4 times, something like that. I think he made the All-Star team like 6 or 7 times. Like,
it's not so much we. It's not so much we. Like, it's not so much us. It's more so just like the most people, the average people out there. Like, especially nowadays, like a lot of the youngsters are taking over. Like the media taking over like a lot of these spaces, and so they're sleeping on guys like Paul Pierce that they remember from when he was with the Clippers, and they think Draymond Green cooked him and thought it was funny, like, oh, you're not Kobe, you're not gonna get that love. So people hear that type of shit and really think, oh, Paul Pierce must have been a bum because Draymond said that, and they don't know shit about Paul Pierce. That's true. You know what I'm saying?
I think what it comes down to is I feel like now it's such a highlight type of culture. Of everybody only watching highlights, and we all know in highlights anybody can look good, anybody can look like the man. You could take a person who averaged 4 points a game and they look like the man if you put together a nice highlight tape. So because the younger generation, if this person don't have these sweet highlights that set out and that look all amazing, they're gonna be like, oh, Tracy McGrady was a scrub. And it's like, bro, whoa, what are you talking? That's T-Mac. Like, come on, man. Like, he better than that. So it's like that's where at least in my experience, I hear a lot of younger people talking about, oh, he wasn't even that good, or oh, he was average. Grant Hill was kind of an average player, and it's like, bro, come on, man, you can't be disrespecting some of the legends like this. And I feel like it ultimately comes down because it's a highlight culture now. Like people barely even watch games; they just watch the highlights.
Well, can't we do the same thing in terms of making somebody look bad too? Like you just mentioned, you can make somebody look good. I could put together a 5-minute reel of Steph Curry looking super whack. Yep. I can make a 5-minute reel of making, I don't know, Joker look awful. Does that mean Joker? Because Joker is not awful. He's incredible, right? So
every month, Mars puts a low light tape. Every year, he puts a low light tape out when the MVP conversation gets heavy.
That's interesting.
You working on that right now, Morris?
Probably.
I know this tape ain't a Jokic.
You just watch the game. Like a low light.
I mean, Paul Pierce has just got caught in a weird area, y'all. Like I don't know how else to say this. Like we've talked about this so many times. There were so many really great Hall of Fame level players, and then there were Hall of Fame level players, which was Paul Pierce. Like Paul Pierce just got caught in an era where there was like at the worst, Dirk.
But he ain't get caught in a bad era. He just wasn't better than them guys.
But he was really good though.
I could say John Morant and Trae Young are caught in a really bad era because Shea's running around, Luka's running around, Jokic is running around, Giannis is running around, Embiid too. It's unfortunate for Embiid.
Yeah, he hobbling around, but
I mean, but I'm saying it's a lot of guys you could say that about. Like it's just sometimes you just like you as dope as you are, you just not quite good enough.
But he was really good though.
No,
like,
he
you
was,
know what I mean?
Paul Pierce was definitely
but nobody pulls
you run down.
I think coming 1v1 scoring easily.
So Paul Pierce showed up in 98. That's when he showed up. So from 2000, let's say from 2000 to 2009, that decade, outside of James, who's a better small forward than Paul Pierce?
Wait, what?
He gonna say Melo.
What's the question again?
Who other than LeBron, who was the best small forward of the 2000s?
And from 2000 to 2009, who was a better small forward than Paul Pierce?
Who were all the small forwards at that point in time? Lamar.
So
Odom,
you got Lamar Odom.
I think Paul Pierce is the second
more power forward.
Melo.
I think Paul Pierce is the second.
Yeah, I think a lot of new analytic people would say Paul Pierce is better than Melo. I think again, based on how I'm talking about basketball and everybody remembering, Melo was clear of Paul Pierce. And then there was Paul Pierce. But
you
then,
said from 2000 to 2009, though, Swipe.
I know. I'm thinking. I'm trying to think. Like, who else was in the conversation?
So Lamar Odom.
Nobody. Lamar Odom wasn't in Paul Pierce conversation.
No, he wasn't.
No, but who did small forwards that were all-stars?
But I'm saying though, Swipe. Kevin Durant didn't come until what?
2007.
2000 to 2009.
He was better by 2009 though, like for sure.
He was better than 1 year, sure.
08. I guess 08 then, yeah. I
don't-
want to be
Kevin
What
Durant
the
wasn't better
fuck
than
are y'all talking
better than-
about?
Rookie KD is not better.
A lot of small.
No, I'm
forwards
saying
that
08.
playing they
08 is
role.
second year. So I'm saying
Sniper,
that
stop
would be-
talking about
07,
Paul Pierce.
07, 08, or 08,
No,
09.
I didn't say
08,
Kevin Durant was better. I said he was better than
08,
09 by year 3. That was his third year.
09 was not year 3.
Well, no, his first year was 07, 08. His second year
Yeah,
was
that is
08, 09.
08, 9, and then by
You're
9.
You're saying 9-10. You're saying
Yeah,
09,
by
10.
9-10 he was better.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's year 3. We out the decade. But from
Yeah.
2000 to 2000, but from 2000 to 2009. So James, Melo,
Joe Johnson.
Paul Pierce, Joe Johnson, Lamar Odom,
This is very
Grant
clear.
Hill, right? Grant Hill.
He was, yeah.
He was done. Though.
I mean, T-Mac was a 2, but he played the
T-Mac was
3.
a 2. Yeah, T-Mac was a 2.
Who else was in the league that was like?
It was
already
only
been Carter. He
only
kinda-
The fact
LeBron.
that, I think the fact that we have to think about this says a lot about what Paul Pierce was.
This is
I
fact.
don't think he was second. I'm not thinking he was second.
Well, I'm
It was
thinking.
Bron and then it was
We
Paul
have to think
Pierce.
about that.
Ain't no question for me. Y'all never gonna tell me better than Melo at the peak. I don't care what.
Yeah, so
I
me
got
and
Melo.
Swiper aren't thinking twice. I don't think
Mhm.
Ox is thinking
Right.
twice. Paul Pierce is the second best. So none of us really thinking.
Corey
We just saying
Maggette,
names.
that's right, Tribe.
We putting people in the conversation, I guess.
Corey Maggette wasn't in the same conversation.
No,
with
but he was
Maggette
there.
was
I'm
good.
saying he
I
was
ain't
there.
saying-
Unlike Mars, I'll at least have the conversation with y'all. Whole time I'm gonna be disagreeing, but I'll talk about it. With
Oh
you.
no, I'll have the conversation about Melo. Like, that's cool. I know what side of the fence I'm on.
Oh, you're not Melo. I'm talking about the other guys. So.
Oh, I mean, yeah. If you
Like,
wanna
I
I'm
talk
think,
about
sorry.
it,
I think Melo it's a little more than a conversation. I'm not mad at you if you got
it's a
Melo.
debate. It's a legitimate
At all.
debate. It's a debate.
Yeah, at all. I'm not even gonna sit here and just like pound it like no. You got Melo. I'm cool with that. Let's move on. But other than LeBron and Melo, I'm not. It's nobody.
So
Also, quick shout out to Lou.
Mhm.
Louis was holding it down.
Oh yeah, but he wasn't better
Louis was
than
for sure holding it. He wasn't better. I'm
Louis?
just hey, we
Scola.
gave Corey Maggette a shout out.
No,
I can't give my nigga Louis a shout out.
Well, Luau Dang.
Luau Dang.
Yeah, shout out Louis.
When did Lou show up? 2004.
Yeah, 2004, 2005.
Yeah, he
something
was
like
nice,
that.
man.
He was. So Paul Pierce, for all intents and purposes, I think he was the second best. So from 2003,
Sure, you don't
which is
believe
when-
that.
Leonard's
Which is-
Pledge nasty.
Which is when Manu Ginobili showed up from 2003 to 2013. That's a decade. How many two guards were better than him?
Who?
Bryant?
Who?
Kobe and D Wade. Kobe
Bryant
D Wade and
and-
for that little bit.
Yeah, Bryant. And how long was Tracy McGrady better than Manu Ginobili?
I say probably.
I'll say through 2007.
Yeah.
but he just
After
got hurt.
he went down with like the back injury, I think it was 2000.
Was Tracy McGrady better than Manu Ginobili in 2005?
Yes.
I plead
yes.
fifth.
Without
I
a
plead
doubt.
fifth.
Without a
Through,
doubt.
through
I-
2007
I-
until the
I-
injuries.
Yeah, I plead.
Y'all are nasty. I'm
Look.
sorry. This is what I'm saying. This is why. This is
T-Mac was
why.
better till 2009.
This is why some of y'all
All right.
shouldn't.
See,
honestly
Ron,
shouldn't
see.
No, it's
oh,
not.
this is why I joined
Hey.
NBA Twitter. Not everybody deserves a platform. Not everybody deserves a platform.
2009 low key kind of a little bit of a stretch, but
It's 100% a stretch.
I said the shooting guards I'm taking Kobe, D Wade, and T-Mac for that stretch. Everyone else, Manu can go right above us.
That's what I
Shout
love.
out to Ray Allen. Shout out to you. I respect you. Manu Ginobili can go right above you. Shout out to everyone else though.
right there.
All right.
People
2008.
didn't watch Rip
2008.
Hamilton. None. He wasn't better than Manu.
Oh, you just saying that's when Manu finally came better than T-Mac? Oh wait,
Yeah.
that's
No,
cool.
well,
Yeah,
09.
like I said, whatever. Like I said, those three they got it. Like those three they got it. Then I'm putting Manu right there. We can talk about Ray Allen. I'll listen to the
But there was
conversation.
nobody else.
Everyone
There was
else
nobody. Yeah, Ray Allen.
So
wasn't even-
so for half that time, so from 2000,
Ray Allen was tough, right?
so from 2003 to 2008, and then from 2008 to 2013, that's half the time he was a top 3-2 guard. That's half the time.
I knew.
Sound right to me.
Because I'm thinking about the other two guards in the game. I mean, Rip Hamilton, Joe Johnson,
Vince Carter.
yeah, right, Vince Carter. I think he was better than Vince.
AI
Carter.
played the two.
AI was at the 2.
Yeah, I kind of forgot about him.
Was he better than AI in 6'7"?
He was. That was his
You know,
first. full
That
year
was
in
AI's
right?
third. He was leading league in scoring that year.
And
And then got traded.
Was
In
it 06 or 07?
Yeah, he
Oh,
was
07.
scoring in 07.
Only time I will put.
Oh,
He
6,
did not
7.
lead the league in scoring.
No,
Only
but I
time
think
I
was
will-
Kobe led the league in scoring.
no, I know, but
Kobe led the
what? So what?
In
It was
05, I
was it
think he
6?
led the league. He averaged 33 a game in 05. I'm pretty confident that was the year he averaged.
But
33.
6'7" wasn't that the year he got traded to Denver? He was leading
Yeah,
league
it
in
was
scoring.
his first
Melo
year
was
in Denver.
2. Melo, I think he was
Well,
first. and
Bryant
Melo
led the
was-
league in scoring. That next
I
year.
know
He averaged
Kobe
32
led the
games.
league in scoring.
Yeah,
I
he
know
threw
for a
the-
fact.
Bryant led the
Believe
league in
me,
scoring
believe
that next year. He averaged 32 a game. That was the
Yeah.
year after he averaged 35 a game.
I
He
know,
averaged
like
32 a
for
game.
certain,
Let's
Kobe
see.
led
Yeah,
the league in
he's
scoring.
scoring.
I know he was second and
Mhm.
third.
It was Brian who
But
led the
I know
in scoring in
Kobe led the
07,
league in scoring.
06, 07. Yeah, he
I
averaged
can
32 a
assure
game
you.
that
Allen
year.
Iverson.
It's 05, it's 05, 06. That's what he says.
05, 06, Kobe led the league in scoring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 05 maybe? 04, 05?
Well, I mean, he said
he
that
won 4 scoring
05.
titles. There's years in there he led the league in
06, 7
scoring.
was 24.4. I got to see
Yeah.
what Melo was averaging. I got to see what Melo was averaging.
They're not saying AI average that he had more. They're saying he averaged 33.
Yeah, he did. He had the 33 point. I think that was 05. He averaged 33.
I mean, that's
05-6. It was 05-6.
I mean, y'all know AI was a bucket though.
Yeah, come on.
He was.
Yeah,
We can't put Manu.
I'm asking this question because, like, we're up here and we're talking about Manu Ginobili. We're talking about Paul Pierce. Where should these guys be amongst?
Well, hold on, time out, y'all, time out. No, because this is why I know I was correct. So prior to the trade, AI was averaging 31.2 points a game, and then I think Kobe went on that run. That
Bryant
year.
averaged 32 a game that year. Swiper.
I know. I listened to what
he
I'm
led
saying.
the league in scoring.
I think what happened is Kobe picked it up as the year went on, and AI dropped off the face of the earth after the trade. AI was averaging 31 going into the trade to Denver, is what I'm saying. And then Melo was averaging, I can't remember how many points per game he was averaging, and then it dropped
20.
off after that. So that's what I'm saying. I think AI going into the trade might have been leading the NBA in scoring, and then Kobe finished the year averaging more points, but then AI dropped off. That's what I'm saying. That's what happened. Because I very vividly remember that. But anyway, go ahead.
All right, y'all. We're gonna transition back.
Why you was wrong, Swiper?
No, I'm just
transition back
explaining
to
like what happened
2005,
in the
y'all.
memory bank. Go ahead.
I want to talk about the hottest team in the NBA as currently stands. The Golden State Warriors are 14-1 since with Jimmy Butler in the lineup. They just beat the Knicks this past weekend. Steph Curry dropped 28, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. And that is 7 straight wins for the Golden State Warriors. And they are just rolling right now.
Well,
with Jimmy Butler, since Jimmy Butler joined February 7th, their record is 12-2. They're first in field goals made, first in free throw percentage, first in assists, first in steals. Talk to me about this Golden State Warriors team and why they're on fire right now. Manny, I'm gonna kick the rock to you right now.
Yeah, let's do it, man.
About the Warriors?
This Warriors team, they look dangerous right now. I mean, this is all Steph Curry needed was just another guy who knows how to play basketball and understands his pivotal point and how he can help elevate the team. And that's Jimmy Butler. So with the Warriors, what they've been rolling right now, I think they are a dangerous team. This is a team that can possibly go on a deep playoff run, especially since they got all the elements that you would want in a team that could possibly go to the finals. Playoff experience, check. Star players, check. Star players with experience, check. They play defense, check. They got defenders, shooters, check. They literally check all the boxes. So I think come playoff time, this is a dangerous team right here. And I would say they have just as much as a chance to go to the finals as the Denver Nuggets.
As of right now, the Warriors are only 2.5 games behind the 5 spot, and that's the Lakers. Well, 2.5 games behind the 5 spot, and they're 3.5 games out of the 4, 3, and 2, I guess, because the top or the next 3 teams are all in the tie. Do we see the Warriors jumping? Can they get out of the 6 seed, jump into the 5, 4, 3?
I don't know. 2 through 7.
Potentially.
I don't know.
They're gonna have to win the next few games for sure. They kind of got an easy schedule coming up, and then it starts to pick up toward the end because they see Lakers, they see Denver, they see Houston, and then Phoenix. You know, whatever. The Phoenix gonna continue to do what they do.
Don't they play Denver tonight?
They do.
Yeah, they play Denver tonight.
Let's go Dubs. Yeah, we Warriors.
They can make some ground. Yeah,
they play a lot of Western Conference matchups, and that's going to be the part that's tough for them.
Yeah.
So in between those,
at this point, just right quick, Jill. Right quick. At this point, the Warriors are. I'm pretty sure they're solidified to get into the playoffs. Like we know that. I think this actually helps them going through like this a rough stretch because keep in mind they're still integrating Jimmy into the lineup. They're still kind of just, figuring things out. Now, obviously, they're rolling, but playing to get some competition before the playoffs, I think that actually does them a service.
I ain't mad at that.
I don't know if they are solidified in getting into the playoffs. I mean, they tied with Minnesota right now for the 6th spot, and they end up winning it. So if Minnesota could jump them and it could end up in the play-in tournament, we all know that if you know, in a one game playoff series, you could lose. But the fact that Jimmy Butler, who's had, 24 games, 25 games, 27 games, in between that, he's had some 11 games, 13 games. But the fact that he's on the floor, I just think that makes that offense so much more viable and opens up the offense for guys like Moses Moody, right? Opens up the floor when they play defense, because Jimmy Butler also does play defense on some level. And I think that guys like Draymond Green and Gary Payton. Now, Swiper, wait a minute. I'm not saying that he's the all-league defender, Jimmy Butler, that he was.
No, I thought it's better.
Yeah, you said better. On some level made it seem like you were just saying he was like,
he's
I'm really good on defense.
I'm saying, right, and this is what I'm saying, that with him being on that unit, that causes a lot of trouble for other teams, not just offensively but defensively too, and that opens up a lot of their offense. So, I mean, I'm with Draymond in the aspect that he gives them something that they didn't have in the past, which is now a secondary scorer that they can rely on and a threat. So they know that they can't just leave Jimmy Butler open. They know that they just can't forget about Jimmy Butler like they would Moses Moody or like they would Pods. They have a viable number two.
I wish his 3-ball was working right now, bro, because he can't hit jack. But he's still a threat out there.
He made that show against the Knicks.
Yeah, right. One shot. I know, but he needs to get it up. My boy Jimmy needs to do better at the 3-point ball. That's my dog.
He does. But Jimmy, to your Chill's point too, though, Jimmy's one of those guys where he doesn't have to score to be effective on. He can be effective on offense without scoring, but mostly Jimmy Butler does all the intangible things anyway on defense, passing lanes, just orchestrating offense, talking on defense. They already had a dude in Draymond Green that could be the floor general on this side of the floor. Now they add Jimmy Butler. It's like two of those. You know what I mean? So like Jimmy Butler just made the Warriors so much better, like exponentially better. Don't just add his stats to their team. You add
I think
the whole influence to Jimmy.
Which I would say Jimmy Butler might have
because he helped out Buddy Hield a lot too. I feel like with Jimmy Butler and Buddy Hield being on the floor.
Mars, you better get on board, Mars. Get on it, Mars.
Don't worry about Buddy Hield, man. Like, don't worry
get
about
on board, Mars.
Man,
get on board with this, brother.
He's a bucket, man. We know Buddy Hield is a bucket.
A bucket.
Like when Jimmy is
Mars, you ever seen one of them? Like I grew up watching like old school movies and stuff like that. Like, you ever seen one of them old school movies where like something crazy happens and like one of the old ladies just falls out like, oh. That's how you be acting when we bring up Buddy Hield. Like, no.
Mars clutching his pearls. That's exactly what he's doing. Mars is over here clutching his pearls. Like,
I'd make an argument that Jimmy Butler is the best non-box score filling player in the league, meaning that he can end the game with 2, 6, 4, 2, 1.
They got two of those, Swiper.
Yeah, Draymond.
Two guys that could be triple singles. They both. Now I don't think Jimmy's gonna be Jimmy. Not no triple single type of cat, but both of them dudes could have triple singles and impact the game so much. But if they did that, then Buddy would have to be shooting.
The difference though, Ox, in the Western Conference, particularly in the playoffs, you got to score, yo, and you got to score a lot. Like, you're not going to be beat. You're not beating. You're not beating. You
play the Rockets, you only going to score 91.
They got Steph Curry though, Chill.
Right, they do have Steph Curry, but I don't. I
Buddy Hield apparently.
I disagree with you guys. I think that 104, like, I don't think that those kind of games in the playoffs, I don't think that's enough when you have to see. I don't think that's enough when you have to see Denver. You're not holding Denver to 100 points.
There's no world in which they score 104 against Denver. They're gonna score like 126. Like, that'll be fine.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You have to
ain't
score.
No one worry about it.
Well, in a 7-game series,
ain't no one worry about that.
In a 7-game series, there's gonna be games that are in the 100s to 90s.
For real,
that's gonna happen.
That mid-range looks serious when he.
Okay, once teams figure each other out, then they guard each other differently.
Hey, Swiper, show me your salsa dance. Let's get a sneak peek on how Leicester gonna be looking come playoff time. Do your little salsa dance. You be doing it all the time.
Are you still on this Jamal Murray thing? I mean, honestly, after 50 games.
For real, Ron. Like, you got to get off that, yo. Ron, you got to get off
that. Jamal Murray's been...
He's been way better than a lot of guards in the league for the last 50 games, my dog. Like, really good. He's averaging 23 and 6 on damn near 50, 40, 90. Like, at some point, you're going to have to get off that. Just, respect to you, though. I know you got an agenda to push. But also, just to be clear, he also played well versus the Wizards. He wasn't why they lost. Played well versus the Lakers. Wasn't why they lost. I tell you somebody else, but, we'll get to that later. They play the Warriors tonight. Don't be surprised if he has another great game tonight. Like, he gets up playing against them. So,
he show up big when he needs to. Every time it's a big game or something like that, he show up big. People, and that's been a running joke. They say, like, all right, when he playing, regular teams. He don't hoop, but he played the Lakers.
They needed him against the Wizards to win the game. I don't know, but
he got hurt. Whoa. He was like a plus 15. Got hurt. He got hurt. Twisted his ankle.
And then he came back in, right? He was there.
But he's the one that made the shot to tie it up.
Yeah, and then wide open Keyshawn George threes. Yeah. Jordan Poole 35.
I ain't blaming him. That was him, PJ.
Alex Saw 600 points.
32 shots. Yeah.
Wizards not playing like that again this year.
Yo, can we stop the whole? Oh my God, I'm so sick of it.
Wizards ain't playing like that.
I need shots to score.
The Nuggets are they played. I mean, we're not even there yet. And Ron started this, by the way. El Host, we're talking about the Warriors and the Wolves, by the way. But no, we don't have to get there right now. I will say this: I really like Jimmy Butler. Everybody knows how I feel about Jimmy Butler. I can't wait to see them in the playoffs. Like, period. Whoever they play against, I think Jimmy Butler. His floor is. I don't have to do much today. To his floor is he the best player in the NBA? That's his floor and ceiling are like I can be really good all NBA, and his ceiling is I can be the best player in any game, in any one single game because of his shot making. I'm that high on Jimmy.
Yeah, the Warriors are a major. The Warriors to me are a major threat. And it's nice to see Jimmy Butler in a situation where they are legitimate contenders. Miami have been just hovering around. Oh my God, you don't want to play Miami? They could do something, but like a legitimate contender, which is what I think the Warriors are right now. Not legitimate as in their OKC, Cleveland, Boston, but like that next group, legitimate within that group. Like I think it's gonna be cool, and that's a team I don't think anyone wants to see in the playoffs, and that includes OKC. I don't think OKC is like, oh yeah, OKC, Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green. Yeah, that's the matchup we want.
They lose.
Definitely not preferable.
And just
I feel like Warriors too experienced. Like you look at a couple years ago when they played the Kings. I hate to bring this up. I ain't trying to throw shade, by the way. When they played the Kings, like Kings had a solid team. They team was nice. If they would have played any other team outside of the Warriors, then they probably would have advanced to the next round. But it's just the Warriors. It's hard to beat people who got that experience, and it's hard to beat. Honestly, it's hard to beat Steph Curry, bro.
So
they just beat the Warriors in the play-in last year, but
well, not only that.
Playing different though.
Single game elimination.
Right.
Even more on the line. Yeah, even more than
one game and you out.
One could argue that's where you need to experience the most. Single game elimination. That's basically a game 7.
Out.
True. This is true. But playoffs, you go back, you re-strategize, you lock in, and you play them again. You figure it out. Like
that's single game elimination. That's
what about
NCAA March Madness?
Yeah, anything can happen.
Hey, we about to see a couple people get popped on the women's side and on the men's side here in a couple days. We about to start seeing number one.
We've seen it already in the PCL. That single elimination.
In-season tournament. In-season one game is crazy.
I just seen George Washington go up against Duke, and they might have won that. They might have won that match. So I'm just saying, bro. Like anything can happen in the PCL. But look, the Warriors are really good, bro. I'm excited to see them.
I agree.
Yeah.
But I have the script for tonight already. I have the script for the rest of the week. I know it's going to happen.
What, in the PCL?
Just a quick side note. I thought I was going to win by 25. I ended up pulling away late, and I won by 10. How about
you did?
Yes, I did.
Oh,
I mean, in Chill's mind, he has the score more.
Yes.
Well, Chill, you said you didn't lose a round last night. I thought that was just insane.
But anyway,
yo, before we
I'm
get
not even going to
into
bring
this,
up what Chill did in that second round because I'm going to get angry. So I'm just going to.
Before we get,
Now,
hey, Manny,
we have
are
to
you
talk
familiar
about
with the
it.
PCL?
Ron,
No,
I want
to get back. I want to get back to the Oklahoma City.
Right quick, Chill. Just hold that
My fault.
thought because I gotta let the people know about a good app called PrizePicks. Y'all make sure y'all go download the app. You can run your game, control your game, and win your game here. Only when you use promo code PANEL. Yes, you can get promo funds by using promo code PANEL, and you will get $50 instantly when you play just $5. Go download the app, get your $50, use that promo code PANEL, and go make you an honest wage. Right, Ox? That's what we doing tonight?
Yeah, we're making honest.
We're getting some honest money, huh? All right, let's get to it. Now, with $20, we are getting 200, and this is very simple. Ox, you only put 4 picks on there?
Yeah, that's all that I was told to put on there. These were your picks, Ron.
Jalen Green less. That's crazy. But
don't put this on me, Ron. These are your picks.
Why don't you put some more in there? You don't have to just choose one. But either way it goes, Cade Cunningham, we are going less than 27.5. Now, Cade averages less than 27.5 points, so I'm going with the less. Now, I know that they're playing against the Pelicans, but I believe that Cade won't get over 27. We got Tyler Hero against the New York Knicks. Jalen Brunson is out, and somebody got to score, and this may just be the night in the Garden where Tyler Hero has one of them games. I got Hero going for 30-plus points. Should have took the Demon, but we took Tyler Hero going more than 22.5. Steph Curry is playing against Leicester. Swiper, show us the salsa dance. They're going to have that boy spinning around and doing all type of stuff. I got Steph Curry PRA higher.
This is not a good or new bit, by the way. So this bit will not be happening. This is the end of that bit. I ain't dancing for no Ron. Go ahead.
Steph Curry going more than 37.5 PRA. And Ox, what you got?
Dominant Sabonis, of course, 35.5 PRA. He's going over that. I mean, can't nobody over there rebound with him, so he'll probably end this game with like 19, 20 rebounds alone. So easy money.
Easy money, y'all. Y'all heard it
another day in the office.
Facts. All right, chill.
You know that your average man would have been out for months with that hamstring injury that DeMontis Sabonis just went through. But
how long was he out? About a week and a half, 2 weeks.
They were talking about we'll reevaluate in 2 weeks. He said no need for reevaluation, but just
maybe it wasn't as bad as they sold us.
Put me in, coach.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't as bad as they sold us. I'm sorry. Tell me your name one more time. I apologize, brother.
Manny.
So Manny. So Manny, when I think about the Golden State Warriors, and I can appreciate experience 100%, but Oklahoma City has advanced each year. They go from the play-in tournament to the second round last year to this year. They got the best record in the Western Conference. Oh, those guys have definitely improved. And from a youngster mentality, they looking at them old dudes like, yo, we can take them. Now, them old dudes is looking at these young dudes. Now, the old dudes is looking at these young dudes like, yo, we probably got one more shot against them. But the way that Oklahoma City flies around on defense, the way that they blitz, the way that they shoot gaps, and the way that they rebound, and in terms of the toughness, Hartenstein is not going to get pushed around. Neither is Casey Wallace. Neither is J-Dub. They have a level of toughness on that team that I am not concerned with at all on any level. I do understand how dangerous Steph Curry is. If you walking into a room and Steph Curry's in there, whatever straps you got, you better leave and you better go get some more, because whatever you got ain't enough, right? But with all of that being said, I just feel like it's going to be really difficult with Oklahoma City with that defense, and how I'm asking Steph Curry to turn into, I don't know, maybe 22 Steph Curry for 6 weeks or for a week, because that's what it's going to take, I feel like, to beat that Oklahoma City team. I think it's going to take a gallant effort. I don't think it's going to be something that's just, good. And I don't think Jimmy Butler's 17 or 18 a game. I don't think that's enough. It's going to take something huge in order to beat Oklahoma City.
No, they going for sure have to outscore them, because them boys in OKC can score. They can score like crazy. But I think Steph is an underrated defender, because he's small and because he doesn't have the size and stuff like that. I think he's really an underrated defender. When he sit down and plays defense, you crazy for that. You crazy for that. When he sit down and play defense, he actually locks up and he give good effort. But also on the offensive end, it's not just him. Like, if Kuminga step up, then they straight. Kuminga step up, he give his buckets, they straight. Buddy Hield step up, give his buckets, they straight. And then I think the biggest difference maker here, and I know it sounds crazy, but Draymond Green, we just talked about how effective he is when he got single-digit stat numbers. He's still super effective, but when Draymond is aggressive, it helps the focus of the offense, because it's not just, they're trying to get Steph Curry open or they're trying to go shoot a three. It's like Draymond taking these easy layups and he making them, or he's shooting these floaters, making them, shooting the middies, making them. And damn it, if Draymond making threes, you might as well chalk it up, because then that Warriors team offense is putting up numbers, and it's not coming from Steph, Kuminga, or Buddy Hield. So the hardest part for that Warriors team is going to be trying to outscore them. But I think defensively, they're going to be able to contain them a little bit. The hardest guard is going to be SGA, obviously, as we know. People saying MVP candidate, all of that, we know. But I doubt Steph Curry guards him. They'll probably, if Jimmy doesn't guard him, maybe they put the backup guard on him. I can't.
Podziemski?
They'll probably put him on him. And maybe he gets cooked or whatever. But I mean, we won't know until we see it. But ultimately, I think if the Warriors can hang with them scoring wise come late game, that's a fight you don't want to have. That's a shootout you don't want to have with the
100%. But I think where the divide is between you and me is where the experience comes in. I don't think that these guys are deer in headlights guys when they run into the Golden State Warriors. I think that they're looking at last year. Shea in particular, like, yo, we should have been in the Western Conference Finals. We had Dallas beat, and I'm the one who screwed us up. I don't think that they're going to make those mistakes again. And going up against a Golden State Warrior team where you got Steph Curry, you got Jimmy Butler, who've been deep into the playoffs, who've been to the NBA championship and won the NBA championship. I know for a fact that my margin of error is way less than what it would be against a bunch of other teams. So if I'm going up against the Golden State Warriors, what I did last year against Dallas, I know for a fact that I can't do that this year. And that's where the experience for my crew comes in, that they are looking for me more than anything to be that guy, to be that anchor, to minimize my mistakes, as opposed to we're just going to just run out here and I'm going to do the same thing that I did last year. What's obvious this season, considering what they've done in the regular season, that they've grown. So I don't think they're looking at Golden State. That's not to say that they're going to walk past Golden State, but I don't think that they're looking at Golden State like, oh my God. No, I don't think that at all. But I will tell you this, though. I will tell you this really quickly. There are teams that duck smoke. Let's be clear about that. 100. Anybody who tells you that teams they just want anybody, no, they don't. There's teams that duck smoke all the time. 100% they do. And if they don't have to see Golden State, they won't be like, man, we wanted them. They'll be like, man,
cool. I can agree on that part. I can agree on that part. OKC is definitely not in any words like scared to play anybody. I think when you're a number one seed and it's been clear that you've beaten all the good teams in the league throughout the regular season too, I think that right away eliminates the fear of, oh, we don't want to play this team. It's like we've beaten the best of the best in the regular season. They beat the Celtics. I mean, all the teams that are considered serious threats they've played. It's so I don't think they're scared at all. And yes, SGA is there, but it's really the supporting cast. I mean, if the supporting cast can continue to step up, and they pretty much got kind of the same team, then that's what's really going to be the difference maker. Because as many times as we've seen, just using this as an example, as many times as we've seen Brian go to the finals, there's been many situations, every time he loses, people like, oh, well, he ain't had no help. Oh, he fell apart. He couldn't make shots no more. They start blaming everybody else. And although SGA is going to do his part, and I firmly believe he's going to definitely ball out in the playoffs as expected. But the biggest thing is going to be, oh, Shet didn't show up. Oh, we didn't have this guy show up. Caruso didn't do anything. He didn't help out. Dort didn't do anything. Oh, Hardenstein didn't grab rebound. And that's the only way I can see them falling apart is if the rest of the guys don't really show up. But SGA, I for sure believe, he ain't, he'll come develop, he'll come prepared, and he'll be like, okay, this is how we lost last year. And we don't see him super vocal in the media about, the leadership. But it's hard for me not to believe that this team doesn't rely on his leadership as great as they've been playing and as ball dominant he is, and as great as the offense has been rolling through him. So I don't think they're scared. It's just I don't know as a unit if they're built tough enough to actually withstand a 7-game series against the threats like the Warriors. That's the only thing. But I don't think they're scared.
What Manny's saying is not crazy.
Oh, that's what
it's really not.
That's exactly what I was going to end it on.
I see a world where the Golden State Warriors can pack up the Thunder. Now, I'm not saying they sweep them. I'm not saying it's 5, but it is definitely a world where Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler pull out the belt and put it on their young asses.
No,
for real.
I'm not going that far. I'm not going that far.
I'm going that far. And hold on, no chill. Before you go, because I said this. Remember in November and December where I was hyping the Warriors, and you guys was all talking about, oh, this team is garbage, this team is trash. I know you guys remember that. Chat, I know you guys remember that.
Because they were garbage, Ron.
This is way before the thought of Jimmy Butler. But no, because there was a point where they were rolling. Remember they came out and they was
in the beginning of the season. Yeah, they were like 12
and I said that this team is a good team. They have talent. And then we knew they were going to make a move. Remember they said in the beginning, we are not letting Steph Curry and Draymond Green just walk into the sunset. We are going to get some help. Well, lo and behold, they stuck to their word and they went and got some help. Well, it was way back then where I was telling you guys that, hey, y'all should be afraid of the Warriors. Now they got Jimmy. Now y'all acting like y'all not afraid of the Warriors. All I'm saying is, and I'm going to say the same thing I had been saying. Ox, unscrunch your face. You're looking like Mike right now. I'm going to say exactly what I was saying back then. Don't underestimate the heart of a champion. Steph Curry's been a number 1 seed before. Draymond's been a number 1 seed before. Jonathan Kuminga's been on one of them championship teams. Moses Moody's been on one of them championship teams. Jimmy Butler's been a number 1 seed before, and he done knocked off number 1 seeds before. If you guys are sleeping on these boys, they gonna wake you up at some moment in time. Now, once again, I'm not saying that they're better than the Thunder. I'm not saying they're gonna beat the Thunder. I'm just not seeing them being afraid of the Thunder, and I can see a couple different scenarios where they pack them boys up and put them to sleep.
Yeah, they're not going to be afraid of the Thunder. I think that everyone knows that. I think watches the Warriors and Jimmy Butler, that if they find a way to determine the pace of the game and determine the pace of the series, and then they're having issues with the off-ball cuts, with all those things, Steph Curry's hitting shots, Jimmy Butler's playing his style, Draymond's the best defender on the court. There's a path for them, 100%. I feel like as somebody who's watched Jimmy Butler for every playoff run for the last 5 years, that I know exactly what he does when those moments come. If Jimmy's able to get his shot making, then 100%, this can be like a legitimate series. If you give me 22 Jimmy Butler, not even 23 first round, 22 Jimmy Butler, 27, 5 and 5 on really good efficiency in fourth quarter, he can be like a really good shot maker again. They have enough defenders. I think Pods, Kuminga, Moses Moody is a sleeper. Moses Moody has played incredible as of late. So, yeah, there's definitely a path. There's definitely a path for sure. Like, I think that the Warriors are a really good team, and they deserve credit for that. And I don't know, man. Like, we'll find out about the Thunder. You know, will they be able to, for 4 games, maintain the level of dominance? And at some point in time, they got to start. I mean, I think they just going to let just Shea keep pushing the guard into 12 feet away from the basket and hitting mid-ranges on them. Like, they got to do something. Because I was watching the Bucks game yesterday. Shea wasn't even good. Shea had 10 or 27, but it was like, bro, like you just letting them you just letting them single coverage just get wherever you. No, I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm just not doing this. I'm not doing this the whole fourth quarter. Like Shea gonna have to beat me by passing the ball to other places, and maybe the Warriors can do it. I don't know. I really,
Also limit them free throws. They gotta limit them free throws too, man. Because SGA, as they say, free throw merchant. Bro, get to the line every damn possession. So that would be a big part too come playoffs. Is they gonna get the same amount of free throws?
9 possessions a game? That's tough.
You gotta be like Coach Bickerstaff and just challenge those, because that's the only way. That's the only way you're gonna get.
No, but what was going on in that Detroit?
That was some bullshit.
That was
nonsense.
But that wasn't Shea. That was
just the OKC team.
Yeah, he literally tripped over his teammate's foot.
And they decided to review it for hostile acts. That's not Shea.
Which is
that's
fine.
the favoritism to the ref, though. Like, why you miss that as a ref? Like, what
are you
doing?
Okay, let's just say for the sake of argument that they did. Okay, they did go review it. All right, They did go review it. Nothing's going on. Okay, now let's get back to the game.
Now, Cade,
why is he at the
thrown out for nothing?
Which is what Cade's gripe was. Why is he at the free throw line by himself? We should be in here, and the game should have resumed. That was the problem. And the referee, what he ended up doing as a former ref ops, because I've seen this before, you compound a mistake with a bigger mistake, because now I gotta be right. Mm-hmm. I already screwed this up, right? So now I'm gonna screw this up and compound this by screwing it up and throwing Cade out of the game, because Cade is on my case for something that I already screwed up. That's where this thing got out of control. I stopped watching it after Cade got thrown out. But I'll end it. I'll end it by saying the longer Golden State sticks around in this series, the more that I like them. That's all I'm going to say about it. If Oklahoma City's going to beat them, they better get rid of their asses quick.
Refs need those post-game interviews, especially against when it's OKC playing. They need some post-game interviews. We need to see what the refs were thinking.
This is facts too, because some of these calls it don't make no sense, man, and it's so debatable for some of them. So it's like, I don't know.
Yo, Ox, you not finna get them post-game interviews from the ref. Just like the PCL judges aren't gonna get no post-game interviews either. Now, I just do want to throw this out there.
You protecting anonymous judges, crazy, man. Go ahead.
Shout out to PCL. We had a hell of a weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Remember, Tuesday and Wednesday, you guys will get an opportunity to see the last 6 matches of the PCL. We got 3 matches coming up tomorrow night, and then we got 3 matches coming up Wednesday night. And just so you guys know, after each PCL matchup, we going to be on Playback for an after party. So this Tuesday after the PCL, make sure to pull up at 10 p.m. Eastern time on Playback. Why? Because the PCL is powered by Playback, and we will do an after party there. We'll be watching the Bucks kick the Warriors' ass. But shout out to Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry, but they just not really no match for Giannis and Dame, right? And then on Wednesday, after we watch that game, as if the Bucks and the Warriors aren't enough, we gonna get to see Luka make Lester do the salsa. So y'all pull up on Wednesday and Thursday, or Tuesday and Wednesday for the PCL, and then pull up for the after party as well. All right, yo, Manny, you gotta hit the road.
Yeah, I gotta get up out of here, man. I gotta go ahead record.
Absolutely.
Right. But before you do, where can the people see you at?
Yeah, man. Check us out on Instagram at The Run Podcast. You can follow the TikTok page as well at The Run Podcast, and YouTube at The Run Podcast. But check out the podcast, the full version, on Spotify, iPodcast, wherever you listen. The Run with Manny Wilson podcast, man. And for y'all, bro, I appreciate y'all having me on. I loved it. I enjoyed the conversation.
Manny, we didn't get a chance to talk about the Pistons. So before playoffs start, hit me back up. Let's get you back on because I want to talk about whenever the playoffs are solidified. I want to talk about how you feel about whoever the Pistons are going to be playing.
I got you. You know, you just got to have me on after we win a championship. That's all.
And Manny, real quick.
We never going to see you again?
Yeah.
And Manny, real quick before you go, JB Bickerstaff, Coach of the Year. I said it.
Thank you. And Malik Beasley, 6th Man of the Year as
100%.
well.
That's a fact.
And Kay Cunningham, most improved player.
No, it's not Pritchard. No, I'm
Kay
tired of
Cunningham,
this.
MVP.
It's clearly Malik Beasley.
Wait. Hey, Ron, when we gonna get Manny's top 10?
Next time he comes back up.
Yeah, next time he comes back up. Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, I'm always down to come back on, fellas, too.
Yep.
I mean, like I said, I had a ball today, so I'm definitely down to come back on. I'd be honored.
All right, my man. We'll catch up with you soon.
All right,
Yes,
for
sir.
sure. Y'all
Good to
be
meet
easy.
you, brother.
All right, bro.
Appreciate y'all.
All right, fellas. Y'all know what time it is. It is Monday. It is the top of the hour, which means top 5 comments of the week from the best chat on planet Earth. Let's get into it, y'all. The first comment that we got this week comes courtesy of who we got? Dre J 912. Dre J said, chill. There's 12 minutes in a quarter. Swiper. That doesn't make any sense. Blah, blah. Relative true shooting. Hibbity ha blah. Jokic. Yap, yap, yap. Is this how it went?
I guess so. I guess so.
I remember seeing
that. I guess so.
Hibbity ooh. The next comment of the week is Mars Talk Sports. Would you like to read this? This was in the PCL comments. Mars.
Oh yeah, that was the first day of the PCL. I can't even remember who debated. But I remember watching that nonsense. Yeah, I said after seeing that. Well, let me read it word for word. Mars Talk Sports on PCL round 1. After seeing this, I'm so much more confident than I was 3 hours ago. Yes.
Is there anything specific, Mars, that you saw that you was like, all right, I think I'm good?
Who was the first? I seen Cowboy Bob and King Capers debate, and then I seen they were arguing what big they would build around or have on their team, and it was Jarrett Allen versus Cat. I was watching that debate. I was like, damn, that's crazy. Then there was I can't remember who the first debate was, but I remember watching it and thinking, it's just not. I'm not worried. That's what I remember thinking. I'm not worried. Now, maybe Matthew, who I'm going against, is actually tough. But what I saw on that day 1, yeah, I wasn't impressed. Last night was cool. Day 1, yeah.
I would like to put a suggestion out there that I think the PCL members should not be in the chat live during shows because they're influencing debates. Because what's happening is Mars is commenting so often because he's a Gen Z, he's always in the chat, that people are thinking that Mike is copying things that Mars is saying inside of the comment section. And I think Mike was making his own debate. And I think what happened is because Mars was defending himself.
I didn't say anything that
I know, I think what was happening is you were defending points he was making versus Chill. And what happened is that after the fact, people were going back and they were kind of listening to what you were saying. And I think during the live, you were saying things, especially in that segment 2, that I think influenced the chat, even if they were true or not.
If the chat had a vote, then I would agree with you. The chat don't have a vote, so me influencing the chat.
I think it has a.
The chat doesn't have a vote. The chat doesn't.
If I remember correctly, the chat has a.
The chat doesn't have a vote.
They don't have any. So there's no.
No, they have no power.
So
like,
why take a poll? Then why take a poll?
Because that's just what do you think? But it's not like legitimate. It doesn't like mean anything.
Fan interaction, Swiper.
Yeah. So I want to like. I'm just making it abundantly clear. If the chat had a vote, and you genuinely believe that I influence the chat and sway their decisions, cool.
I don't know if you do. I think
the chat don't have a vote. I'm entitled to say whatever I want in the chat. Right.
Mars, just tell the truth. We signed Mars is the live broadcaster in the chat for the PCL. We signed him to a contract, multi-year contract.
If it can't, I mean, to this person who says it doesn't influence the judges. The judges have until Friday. The judges have until not until Friday, but the judges are watching the debates over again. So they're not going to be looking at the chat. They're going to be listening to the debates. What I'm saying in the live chat has no bearing on what the judges do because they're watching the debates again after.
You don't know if the judges are to know if they're influenced by the chat or not.
If the judges do that, then we have a flawed system in general. You don't blame me for the flawed system.
Well, I said PCL members, period, because people are saying Hayes. Even myself, I put like I think an unbiased response in there because I thought it was a good debate, in a chill and whatever matchup. Then I had to go to dinner when Jordan and Carson were going, which I would have commented on as well. But yeah, but if it has no bearing on the outcome, then that's perfectly fine.
I gave my opinion on every debate. Just like everyone else in the chat was able to do. I just happened to have a wrench next to my name, but I was just giving my.
Are we allowed?
Would you like me to take away his wrench?
No,
that might
100% no. No,
okay.
No, 100% no. I don't believe in that in any source, in any public forum. Ron, are we going to be able to discuss this at all at any point in time today?
Oh yeah. We for sure finna get into this.
And I would like to see Chill. I would like to see Chill and Mars argue. I think
no, I'm not arguing after the stuff. I'm not arguing. I'm not doing that.
Listen, y'all, we about to
we're
about to read the rest of the comments of the week. We're gonna read some super chats. We got a couple things that we got to touch on for the weekend, and we could talk about PCL for the rest of the show.
No, we got good tips to talk about.
We do, and we got good debates to talk about too. But we also have our third comment of the week, which comes from Gary Brent. Gary said, "I'm sorry, but it was a rule that you had to be on camera during the debate. I'm not even saying Mike lost the debate, but why we bending rules? If he ain't showing his face like literally everyone else, then that's disqualification. Hate to be the hater, but it's only fair."
Well, in Mike's defense, I was the one who told him that he ain't had to put his face on camera.
In Mike's defense, I also don't think on the application process it said you needed one, but I don't know. I just whatever.
Do we think that his camera being off had anything to do with his performance?
No, well, I think it obviously like not being able to see someone, you can't read body language, but at the same time, like if somebody's not comfortable being on camera, I think they have the right to reserve to say I don't want to be on camera.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
On the flip side, I think I also think on a platform that is what we are, probably gonna have to have your camera on. You know that when you sign up. So then you being the only one who's like, yeah, I'm not doing that, and then being accepted into the PCL, I don't know. Because from what I know about the application process, which is not a whole lot, I think people had to record a 30-second video or something like explaining why they should be in the PCL, whatever the case may be. Either Mike had his camera on for that to get accepted, or he didn't, and then he was still accepted. So one of the application
video.
If he had his camera on the application, then I think it makes sense to say that he should have his camera on for the show. But if it also was explained beforehand that it was fine that he didn't, I'm not saying he should be disqualified. I just think letting someone into the tournament where they weren't going to have their camera on, I think that's probably where it went wrong. But once he was already in, I don't have a problem with it.
I'm not tripping on whether or not he had his camera on, but we do understand like when you first start doing this, getting on in the space or whatnot, having your camera on, it does add like a little, I don't know if nervousness is the right word or whatever. So you know what I'm saying, some people that like wild cards that aren't used to doing this, some of them had to deal with some nerves. I think that Mike didn't have to deal with. But hey, if it's not in the rules, it's not in the rules, man. Should we not going?
Yeah, like he ain't.
I didn't have a problem with him not having his camera on. It didn't bother me at all.
I mean, I know you didn't have a problem with it, but I think some of the other wild cards probably was like, damn.
And people expected so little of Mike. The fact that he wasn't terrible made people think he was cheating. Like,
right.
I could have told y'all he was going to cook like this, though. I just didn't want to hype him the way you were.
I was saying it for how long? Apparently, I was wrong.
See, the thing about it is, I seen his application video, and when he jumped in that, he probably had you know when like record labels they remember back in the day, Swiper, where you used to hear people's demo tapes. You know, it'd only be 3 songs, but you got a snippet. So the way Mike came out in his application video, sign me up, sucker. I was like, I knew it. He came out and he did exactly what I thought he was going to do. So shout out Mike, for real.
I can't. It was a great debate, honestly. I was thoroughly entertained.
Wizards Hornets debate was definitely interesting. Yeah.
That was interesting. Yeah, that was very interesting.
Yeah, definitely interesting. But
that's why when I got to round 3, I was like, man, this is going to be interesting how this goes. And then, yeah, we'll talk about it.
All right, y'all. The next comment of the week is from
Mars again.
Oh no, it's Gary Brent, but with my logo. What's going on?
Oh. Isn't that copyright infringement?
I definitely wrote that comment, but Gary Brent's getting my credit.
Shout out Gary Brent for saying
copyright infringement.
Shout out Gary Brent. Gary said 2 comments of the week. Gary, you must be cooking up in the chat. Gary said, Jordan, I apologize. I wasn't familiar with your game.
Jordan held his own. I was expecting like the most outrageous sweep in history. Jordan held his own. That first debate, I was confused, if I'm being honest. The second one, like he very clearly lost. He lost the John Halliburton one. But that third debate, I think he won that one. And then that first debate, I think it was 2-1 either way you go. Just depends on how you view that first round. I think Carson probably got round 1. Probably. I haven't rewatched it, so I'm just speaking of just like first experience. But Jordan even getting around to me, and as clearly as he did get round 3, in my opinion, I didn't expect it. So shout out to Jordan. He did a lot better in that environment than he does just when he's up here just yapping. So shout out to Jordan. And for the person who said this is sorry, I spell apologize with an S because in English it's spelled with an S. American English is spelled with a Z. And sometimes I forget to switch it out when I'm speaking to an American audience. I do a relatively good job doing that. Like when I'll say the word maximize, I type out maximize. I'll put the Z instead of the S. But sometimes I forget. But that's why.
Mars, you ain't got to explain yourself to this uncultured chat.
Yeah, so just putting it on there. That's why, because it's spelled that way in the English language.
See, Mike, only me, you, or Mars, only me, you, and Mike would understand something like that. But let's get back to the last comment of the week. It comes in this form. Let's get this off. Here we go. T. Jones 4L said Mike says he wants chill one-on-one. Y'all laughed him out the door and said he was too scared to show up. Mike enters the PCL and y'all tried to block him from entering because he ain't want to use his cam and keep it hoops. Mike shows up and walks Chill down with ball knowledge and a chat full of people saying he cheated, even while he was responding directly to all the points and questions Chill has for him. Put some respect on Mike's name. I got Mike 2-1 at worst.
Give me a break.
Put some respect on Mike's name for sure. I agree. Put some respect on Mike's name.
Nobody cheated him. Nobody cheated him. It was fair. And every debate that we had, you said that he responded to everything that I said. Okay. Every point that I made, every stance that I had. It was not every stance that I had, every point that I made in the stance that I had when I was talking about the Celtics, when I was talking about James Harden, when I was talking about the Charlotte Hornets, every point that I made, it still was all fact. And everything that he was giving up was hypothetical. Yes, it was. And Swiper, when did you become the debate police? Let's not check. It ain't like you the defending champ. You got the belt.
I just know information. I just know information pretty handily. And when you said some of the things
I 100%.
You were
I got
incorrect.
all of my notes right here, and I will go over them. I have all of my.
Oh
notes.
no, I believe you did research, but you for sure
100%.
I believe you did research. Like,
100%.
I believe you. I
notes
saw
right
you. I
here.
saw you with your notes. I know you had notes. You was capping crazy in that second round, but that is what it is. You probably are gonna win. You probably did win. I expect the judges to have you win in round 1 and round 3. I expect that to be the case. But Mike did a hell of a job.
Like I said, instead of blowing him out by 25, we had a 5 minute. It's 5 minutes left, and it's like a 3-possession game, and I pulled away late. That's what happened.
But chill though, Mike got a little defense, huh? His full court press, all right.
It was what it was, Ron. It was, damn nigga, you still here? And I have to play. That's
a couple second chance points.
Yeah,
you got to steal it too. You missed some bunnies.
Yeah, I blew a layup, and I'm like,
all
right. But I pulled away late. But Swiper,
I think you scored on your own basket in the second one.
I think Swiper thinks you won. I just think you
won by a bigger margin. I just went off of the second round. Chill. I just think objectively there are some things you said that were not true. Which is, you might have still won though. I don't even understand what the big deal is.
Nah, you're trying to be the debate police, Swiper.
100%. 100%.
You said some things that weren't true. I'm not even trying to I don't know. All right.
My stance on, because Ron, it's obvious that they want to get into this. So let's get into it.
Oh, please. No, I'm not trying to get into this, please.
Okay.
No.
If you don't want to get into it, let's not.
Thank
okay.
You. I'm not.
No. Okay.
I think I will
but if you want to get into it, we can. You know what I'm saying? Mars don't, if Mars don't want to, that's up to Mars. But chill, if you want,
you guys can do it. Yeah, you guys can.
Please
you guys
can speak on it.
Mars has bigger fish to worry about.
Right. So when we went into the James Harden and Maxey debate, my stance was everything that James Harden used to be awesome at, that's now Maxey. And all of the stuff that I came with in terms of my notes, and these are my notes. I'll run them down to you right now. These are all of my notes. Maxey is 8th in the league in scoring, 3rd amongst league guards. That used to be James Harden. He averages 6 assists to 2 turnovers. That's a 3-to-1 assist to turnover ratio. That's better than James Harden. He's a ridiculous athlete in transition. He's averaging 6 points a game in transition. That's almost double what James Harden is doing. He's 8%. He's got an 8% turnover ratio in transition. James Harden turns the ball over triple that. This is the stuff that I'm going over in my this is the stuff that I'm going over in my notes. James Harden used to be awesome in transition. Maxey has a 53% conversion rate in transition, which is better.
Do y'all fight any of this? Debate police? Or the debate police?
He's got this is numbers. Every number he's saying is objectively correct. So like we can't. He's saying numbers that are objectively correct. Like what are you meant to argue against? Like yes,
so
the numbers are objectively true. When he said James Harden is a worse playmaker than Tyrese Maxey.
And Mars, hang on, Mars, because like I was saying, so we talked about James Harden in isolation. He plays, I think he plays almost 35% in isolation. Maxey plays about 16% in isolation, and Maxey turns the ball over 10% of the time in isolation, and they both shoot around the same percentage in isolation, which is something that James Harden used to be awesome at. He used to be way better in isolation than he is today. As good as he is in isolation, he used to be way better in isolation than what he is today.
Like and that's not isolation player in the NBA.
And with him being a top 5 isolation player, Mars, there was a point when it was arguably he was the best isolation player.
No, it wasn't arguable. He was the best. But once again, you're arguing that James Harden's regressed, but that's not relevant to the conversation.
That's 100% relevant to
the conversation is James Harden versus Maxey. It's not is James Harden worse than he was in 2019. That's just not relevant. James Harden today, is he better than Maxey? Not is James Harden today as good as he was 6 years ago? It's just not relevant.
Yes, it is, Mars. The reason why it's
is LeBron James better than Cat? Oh, well, he was better in 2013. So I guess he's worse than Cat now. Like that's the same thing you're doing.
But here's the difference, Mars. If we're comparing those two guys, relative to what James used to be good at.
No, we're comparing relative to what he is right now. That's what we're comparing him to.
Right.
If James Harden is a rookie and Tyrese Maxey is a rookie, they're both rookies right now. Who's the better player? That's what that matters. Not what they did in the past. Not what they're going to do in the future.
That's because James Harden is 36 years old. So we're not
Okay,
comparing
and
these
what
guys.
is James Harden
So
today?
everything-
Not what was he
so
6
every-
years ago?
So everything that James Harden used to be good at, Maxey is
irrelevant.
better.
It's irrelevant.
I don't understand why it's
irrelevant.
But
because what matters is how good are they today? That's what matters.
Right.
That's
and everything that he used to be good
Who's
at.
better in isolation, Maxey or James Harden? Today.
According to the numbers,
it's Maxey.
According to the
you
numbers.
Guys have lost your minds. You guys have lost your minds.
Now,
it's Maxey. What are we doing? Tyrese Maxey is better than James Harden in isolation.
Yes.
Why are you even getting involved? Be quiet. You're just trying to create controversy.
Chill convinced me.
Chill don't even believe that.
Maxey played 33% of Maxey's offense is played in the pick and roll. James Harden, at one point in the league, was the best pick and roll player in the game. The best pick and roll player in the game. Maxey turns the ball over less than 10% of the time in pick and roll. And he averages 8 points a game in the pick and roll. That's more than James Harden. The stance that I'm using here when it comes to James Harden and Maxey, what I stood on, according to my numbers, everything that James Harden used to be good at, Maxey is now good at. That's why I pushed him ahead of him. That was my argument.
But you using total points, though, when James Harden has the most isolation attempts in the NBA this year, and he's one of the most efficient isolation players in the NBA this year, using total points, when you measure like isolation and pick and roll, you do it like on a point per possession basis, how effective you are. James Harden washes Tyrese Maxey. Like, it's not even like relatively close. So that's what I'm saying. It's just like when you go ahead, Joe. Go ahead. You might have pushback to that.
I was talking about how good Maxey was, and the example that I gave with him being in pick and roll was that Christmas Day game when he went 33-12 and how much he forced his mismatches. Which James Harden, when he was more athletic and he was faster, he used to exploit that way more than what he does now. Because he plays in isolation as much as he does.
What did you say he did on Christmas?
I think he went 33-12 against the Celtics on Christmas Day. Yes, he did.
Well, James Harden in the last
3 turnovers. That was
in the last 10 games, James is averaging 26, 10 assists a game. And he's shooting 35% from 3 on 10 attempts a game. And he has 29 in 11 games, 25 in 15 games, 24 in 11 games, 21 in 15 games. And then like he had a 50 ball that he shot 58% on and 46% from 3 and primarily in isolation on the perimeter. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I think
keep going.
Well, I think like using anything from the past to say James isn't that, well, James is no longer in his absolute apex. But the question is, today, is James Harden still a better floor raiser, playmaker, isolation player than Tyrese Maxey? Well, then yes.
That's what you guys would argue. And I'm looking at which.
But that's what the question was.
No, it was Tyrese. The question was Tyrese Maxey or James Harden. That was it.
This year.
That was it, right. Tyrese Maxey or James Harden today.
This year, So you only this year.
And all of this stuff that I brought up was this year with Tyrese Maxey.
But you didn't bring up this year with James Harden, though.
That's not well. James Harden isn't what he used to be. That's what
okay. First of all, it's not my point to argue James Harden. My point was to argue Maxey. That wasn't my point.
Your point is to argue why Maxey is better than Harden. All you did,
and that's what I did.
All you did was argue why Maxey is good at things Harden used to be amazing at. That's what you did.
Right. That's what I did.
That's not arguing why he's better than James Harden.
Sounds like it to me.
Then I don't know what we're doing. Okay. Cool.
All right, y'all. I got some super chats. Before I get into the super chats, I do want to once again point out that tomorrow night, this is who will be kicking off. Mars and Matthew Elliott, they will start things up at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And keep in mind, before the PCL starts, From the Logo will be on. So make sure you watch From the Logo. And then after From the Logo, you will see the PCL pop up, and it will be Mars versus Matthew Elliott to kick Tuesday off. And then we got Gifted From the Logo versus Renegade from the chat. That is a wild card. So we get to see 3 wild cards today, 1 being Matthew Elliott, 2 being Renegade, and the third wild card will be Ryan from the chat, who will be going up against SB Talk Sports at 8 p.m. Eastern time.
Hey, Ryan from the chat put up on Chill with Chill this weekend.
Been crazy lately.
He's a knowledgeable guy.
Yes, he is. Yeah? Yes, he is.
Yeah,
SB getting packed up.
I can't rightfully say that much. You know how these debates go.
I'll say it. Love to see it. Shout out to you, Ryan. Good job, man.
I'm sure it's gonna be a good debate because Ryan put up. He's an eligible young fella from North Carolina. You know, a basketball state. You know what I mean? So I'm excited for that matchup. I'm really
Ryan's
just excited. I can't wait for Riv versus Easy.
Shout out Ryan,
That's
man.
Wednesday,
We might get a wild card sweep in this. We might just get one.
I said it on YouTube and I said it on Playback, but Duke did a great job. Like to come off the bench, to not be on the panel ever before, and to do what he did. He put a very concise argument up for all three topics. I think he was very well composed. For the most, I mean, you know, for somebody that's not done it, like, I mean, he did an excellent job. So I think that,
he's
like,
from Seattle, so I feel like
I'm throwing that Jokic straight, so he got an extra point for me for that as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh yeah, that was fire. We needed that.
Yeah, 100%.
I respect a certain level of pettiness in these.
Yeah.
Y'all know Duke was the last addition to the PCL. Duke wasn't even supposed to be in it, but a certain somebody from the old open gym, he decided that he was too good for the PCL and you guys.
But Swiper, what's wrong with that? Y'all got to stop being so uptight. Have a little fun, bro.
It was cool. It worked.
Seriously, bro, it does. It's people who take this shit a lot more serious. Remember, Ox, you had this thing that you had on your channel, and you thought it was fun until it wasn't no more. Like people take this shit seriously. Yeah, you thought this shit was cool until it wasn't no more. So. Yeah, but but the thing about it though, we can still debate ball seriously and still have fun with it though, y'all. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's my thing. You know, it's show business, y'all. We can have a little fun. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm.
Throw some little strays and just have fun like we used to.
All right, y'all. And on Wednesday, March 19th, we got the PCL runner-up from last season, Pirate, going against the final Bandit. The final Goofy, the biggest in the chat, Brax. And then we got DZ versus Riv. Ox spoke on that. And then we're ending things off on a high note with Penn versus Finesse West. Can't wait to see Penn tomorrow or Wednesday. See what he has to say about these battles.
That's a good day.
Battles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. Need Brax to go ahead and win.
I don't know who Finesse West is personally, but ZG.
He's a wizard.
Penn said in the chat that he's an NPC.
What does that mean?
Non-playable character.
Okay. All right, y'all. Well, we will dive back into the PCL and we'll talk about all the matchups that happened on Saturday and on Sunday. We'll get quick recaps and talk about who you guys think won. We won't dive too deep into it. But before we get to these super chats, I do want to let you guys know that this last weekend, Chill not only did he have a PCL debate, but we dropped a Parley debate with Chill and Dale.
That was good stuff.
For who's better, Kobe or LeBron? The video's been going crazy. We got over 1,000 comments. We got a lot of views, and it's a lot of engagement with who people believe is better, Kobe or LeBron. We're not going to get into this right now. You guys just go check it out and comment on who you believe won the debate and what you think about it. But hey, it was a good time. It was a good time.
That one to get into. All of us here think Bron's better. I think every single one.
That action between
you two on that side. You guys just want to be different. So like, it is one. Like,
I don't want to be different, Mars. I just got to be who I am. I can't.
And who you are is different. Yeah, and who you are is different. Okay,
I'm a try hard.
Well, Ox already different. He in the 1% of society. The dude stands 6'9", so I mean he's already different from everybody else.
Exactly. He's just different. But yeah, Brombo. But that was a good, cool video. Shout out to Bron, showing down. That was a cool video.
I thought it was a good one too.
I think you won that debate.
I also thought the one between Ox and I thought the one between Ox and Dell, that was dope too.
Man, I'm always packing Dell ass up. That's not nothing new. I done packed Dell up so many times. I'm like, bro, this shit is getting
Ron, somebody said take a shot every time a Kobe guy says killer or mentality.
Yeah, so mentality doesn't matter in sports. Interesting.
It does. 100%. It does. And Swiping knows it does. 100% Swiping knows that's a serious, real thing.
That is a thing. That is a 100%.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, yeah. Swipe.
Brax, I got you winning. I need you to beat Pirate for me. So
that's why it bugs me out when I hear people telling me about Joker. All he cares about is his horses. if you don't think Joker cares about basketball, you are out of your mind. This dude cannot be that good and cannot consistently be that good if this is just a job where he coming in.
I think the Thunder only care about TikToks personally because all they do is do TikTok videos after the end of the game. They got a commercial that just dropped too, by the way.
Who the Oklahoma City Thunder?
Yeah, they had a commercial. I don't know. I can't remember who was for the brand, but it's like the three of them: J-Dub, SGA, and Chet.
Shout out to them, man.
The big
like
three.
Them young boys deserve everything they're getting. And y'all keep in mind,
they're gonna be the second best big three in the league. It's gonna be amazing.
Second. Who's first?
Yeah, you know.
Rockets. Devin Booker on the way.
He talking about the Spurs. Clearly,
the Spurs have a big one. The Spurs have a big one. And if they get Coop,
De'Aaron Fox.
If they got Coop, if they get
Devin Vassell, De'Aaron Fox.
If they get Coop, they'll have a big two. Then I'll be moved. But right now they got a big one. And he not even playing.
Well, shout out the Blazers, big three. According to DSG Piccolo, Tumani FC, we up. Jop FC, we hit a three. Klingen FC, we up. Denny FC, we up too. Peace FC, we back, nigga. The baby dinosaurs with the super nasty tank job in the fourth. Unethical as F. Shea MVP, Sun Suck, New York Liberty trade. Thoughts?
Natasha Cloud, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is
that's nice.
Crazy pickup.
That's nice.
Crazy pickup.
Back to back?
No. Swipe Jewel Lloyd and Asia Wilson. Let's get rid of
Lloyd and Asia Wilson. Yeah, I watched that Trailblazer game. I thought that the Blazers. It's for some people it's hard to watch the Blazers. I do watch the Blazers, and I thought that up until the last 5 minutes of the game in the fourth quarter, Toronto had them dudes in the chokehold, and then the Blazers go on a 13-0 run. Toronto can't guard at the long ball line. The difference in that game last night was Klingen. I mean, not last night, yesterday afternoon was Klingen. He was the difference in that game. He destroyed them on the glass, the offensive glass in particular. Those second chance points, him getting fouled, him getting to the free throw line. I thought Toronto did a terrible job down the stretch guarding at the long ball line. It was terrible. They didn't do a good job in taking care of the basketball. So it was turnovers and rebounding that ended up killing Toronto, and they actively left Kamara open at the long ball line. And he can shoot. Now, is he a respectable long ball shooter? I think he can be. I do. I think he can be. But I thought that Toronto just gave that game away because they had it under control in the last 5 minutes of that, up until the last 5.5 minutes of that game.
Did anybody see? Real quick, just since they brought up the WNBA, I'm just curious. Did anybody see Chelsea Gray yesterday in that unrivaled game?
39 points in a game winner.
She still got it.
But this is what I'm saying. And this is why I sided with Chill in that debate. She's just not who she was in 2018. So that's why I don't got the Las Vegas Aces beating the New York Liberty.
She's still incredible.
Yeah, she did. I don't. Again, it's a small point. This is a very small thing. Perhaps even Grayson Allen going to the Phoenix Suns, but on a better Phoenix Suns team. I think Sophie Cunningham going to Indiana is going to be a nice pickup for them.
They didn't just get Sophie. They got the one too.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying, I think if they get an additional, I think they're going to.
Yeah.
be.
You know how much shooting they got over there?
They got guns over there. Not just for Caitlin, the best passer in the league. You guys will see when I cook oxen.
Aaliyah Boston,
but.
I murdered you.
Aaliyah Boston, but Kelsey Mitchell got shooting too.
Yeah. So between Kelsey, DeWanna, Sophie, and obviously
Caitlin.
WNBA player.
Caitlin, that's crazy. But y'all know DeWanna be shooting like Eric Gordon. She be shooting from half court. So shit.
I always thought that with DeWanna. She looked like a really good gust of wind come and blow her right over. Just blow her right over.
Yeah.
Jason Grills said, Chill, by your logic, would Barkley be the best player in the NBA today?
What? Why would Barkley be the best player?
Because you said he's better than Jokic and Giannis. That's why.
No.
Is that ridiculous to say?
Nothing's ridiculous to you, Ron.
Yes, Ron. And to clarify, when I talked about Barkley, I talked about Barkley. And this is my fault too, because I ended up letting my emotions. I let my emotions get the best of me. I got roped into saying something that just wasn't true. 100%. This all started with me talking about how Barkley would be viewed if he played in today's game, and how much more he would be seen considering what he was doing back then with the 30-10 games and the 40-20 games. Next thing I know, Barkley's a better transition player than Giannis. And I'm looking back on that going, no, he is not. Like, how did you get there? How did we end up there? And that was my fault. 100% that was.
So he's not better than Jokic and Giannis?
No.
Is he better than Shea?
In today's game?
Just in general. Is
the
Charles
best of Barkley better than the best?
I think the best of Barkley is a top 10 player in today's game. I do think that.
He's higher than that.
No, top 10, yeah. In the conversation. Mm-hmm.
Yes. I think so Joker, Giannis, Jason Tatum.
You said the best of Barkley?
The best of Barkley. Don't that like 89 to 93. I think he's definitely a top 10, arguably a top 5 player in today's game.
Chill.
In the conversation.
You get to draft Barkley when he was drafted, and you get him for his career. You know what he is. Or actually, let's just go the first 9 years of Barkley. You get the first 9 years of Barkley versus drafting Jason Tatum.
I'm not taking him over Giannis. I'm not taking him over Joker. I'm not taking him over Jason Tatum. I'm not taking him over.
You're not taking Barkley over Tatum?
No.
The first 9 years?
First of all, just so you know, Barkley came into the league. He was fat and out of shape. It was Moses Malone who made Barkley get in better shape. Barkley came into the league at 280. That's why they compare him. That's why they compare him to Zion. It was Moses Malone who told him, "Yo, go lose 10 pounds." He loses 10 pounds. Moses Malone told him,
like 240?
He got him down to 250. That's where he got him down to. Yep. Go lose 10 pounds. He goes and loses 10 pounds. Go lose 10 more pounds. And then he starts playing more. All right, go lose 10 more pounds. Moses was the one who taught him how to be a professional. Barkley is coming into the league today, and he gets drafted to the Brooklyn Nets at 280 pounds. Who is teaching him how to be a pro?
Chill. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about the production that they got.
Right. There's a reason why he became that, though, because he got on the crew with Barkley. He got on the crew with Doc and Moses and a bunch of professionals. If Barkley comes into the league today, he's going to end up in Utah. He's going to end up in Charlotte. Who's teaching him how to be a pro? If he ends up
let's just go straight to, like Ron said, to production where they went. And Ron took it back to getting drafted. I'm talking about peak Barkley. Right. 91, 92, 93, 94 Barkley. That's what I'm talking about, you.
Right. So
and you got Jason Tatum over that.
1989 to 1993 Barkley. Now that I think about it.
Chill, come on.
Now that I think about it, yeah, Barkley's a top 5 player. Yes, he is. And he's ahead of Jason Tatum.
So that means he's what, third?
Joker, Giannis. I just don't have SGA. I don't think SGA is better than Jason Tatum. I don't know how we got here, but okay. I do think that Charles Barkley is a top 5 player in today's game. Yes, I do. One of them dudes got to come out.
So it's anywhere from 3 to 5?
Yes, 100% he is a top 5 player in today's game.
He's practically third, but he won't say it. But that's what he's saying indirectly.
Yes.
Swiper, I know you're not big on Barkley, huh?
Who, me?
Yeah. He said he's better than
Malone. My bad. I thought it was the other way around. My bad. I thought it was the other way around.
Malone.
And if he better than Karl Malone,
who I definitely think is a top 5 player in today's game. 100%.
Come on.
Malone's 5
too. You also think he's better than Barkley. Yeah, so.
Malone's not better than Jason Tatum. So I'm good. Like, give me Jason Tatum 100%. Yes, not even a question. This version of Tatum, please. Yes. And Jason Tatum's ethical.
I mean, we factored in that 32 ain't even making it to the league in today's game. So rightfully so.
32 would have been out. He wouldn't even have got drafted. Chill.
Rightfully so. But we just talking about just game though.
He got drafted. Game too. I'm talking about his game too.
And he became the second best power forward to ever walk the earth. So
you think he better than KD?
I got No, my bad. Third best, my bad. Thank you.
Dirk, you're a Dirk guy. You're Dirk.
I'm a Dirk guy, but Karl Malone is number 3 at the worst. You know what I'm saying? It's like
I just have to make sure because
we've done. I mean, my list is out here. You know what I'm saying? As far as power forwards go, and my list does say Tim, KG, Karl Malone, Dirk.
There's a bunch of super predators at the power forward position in NBA history. So
yeah, shout out Giannis.
Whatever, you know what I'm saying? Predator, super predator. All right, bro was the baller.
That's interesting.
Oh, okay.
Super predator.
Said super what?
Yeah, predator. He's the top of the super predator list. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Check ball.
Just so y'all know, Malone was in the league when that information came out too. By the way,
I know, but there was a different league though.
Mm-hmm.
But if this was today's league, it would have been over. I mean, it would have.
And everybody knows. Now I know this is hypothetical, and I know. You took on hypotheticals. I know. But if they win in '97 or '98, he's in everybody's top 10.
He would be
in everybody's top 10.
Yeah, he would be. He would be for sure. Not mine, but that's because I'm different.
He might have made it past 20. He hadn't even made it past my 20. So respect.
Check Ball Sports said
Moses Malone is better too.
I was at Ball Arena back-to-back games this weekend. Shout out to AR and Jokic for 2 great games. Bronny from 3.
That was a good game. Yeah, yes, he did. Yeah, that was a damn good game. Mm-hmm.
Swipey, you want to talk about it?
Mm-hmm.
Which
The
one?
Lakers game?
The Lakers game?
The Lakers game against the Lakers G League team.
37 and 13 for AR.
Mm-hmm.
Swiper, I called you that night. Why didn't you pick up the phone?
But you know what I'm doing at that point in time, bro.
Swiper,
He's taking his notes. He's taking his notes.
He was getting critical, Swiper. I was calling to check up on you.
He's taking his notes.
But when you call to check up on Chill and he don't pick up the phone,
I don't call him during games. After the fact, I'll call him with something.
Yeah, he respects.
So
Chill.
You've never heard Swiper say, "Chill, I called you when this happened. I called Chill.
Yes.
I called Chill."
Swiper, what was the difference? What was of the stuff that you saw in that Laker game? Because I saw a bunch of glaring things, but what was the difference in Denver pulling away as late as they did?
They're not playing no defense. The difference was one team tried, the other team thought they was going to lollipop their way through a game, and it got popped in the mouth. That's what happened. That's exactly what happened. They tried to lollygag and do a L hosting job like Ron, and then look at their notes and figure they could just make it to the fourth quarter, and then we'll put them away, which they did. And then they were chilling. Like, Reeves had a really good game. They weren't defending anything. This is 23 March all over again. Like, this is back where we are. This is exactly where they were 2 years ago, where they had a 38th ranked defense for a stretch. But they've been doing this for 3 weeks now, where they haven't played any defense. So yeah, they're not playing any defense. No one on the roster is playing any defense. Terrible back-to-back games. They deserve to be whatever the worst basketball terminology you can use there. Whatever that is, they deserve to be that. Excoriated.
So almost lost to the G unit of the Lakers.
Yep.
And then you lost to a team that Mars believes should be in the G League.
No, to be fair.
Last year.
We had the conversation. I'm making it clear. We had the conversation. Chill said the Hornets were the worst team in the league. I was very passionate, saying the Wizards are the worst team in the league.
However,
I'm amending my statement.
With new information, you have new information.
The pre-trade deadline Wizards are the worst team I've ever seen.
100%.
The post-trade deadline Wizards are not the worst team in the NBA. This new team with Chris Middleton out there, Marcus Smart when he plays, this team, they are. So the Wizards right now are not the worst team in the NBA.
Yeah.
Over the course of the whole season, they still have been. Over the course of the season, they have been. But this Wizards team,
I would say that the Hawks team they've been playing lately might be the worst team I've seen this year. I don't know if y'all paid attention to their starting lineup. They suck. Trae Young looks horrible. By the way,
the Hawks had no business losing that game yesterday to Brooklyn. None whatsoever.
Brooklyn's a real team though. They're coached well. They believe in their process. The Hawks are just dudes. Trae Young looks horrible.
Hey, respect Risa Shea. Risa Shea been doing his thing. Recently.
Yes, he has been.
He's been going right under the radar for a #1 pick. Just casually, just been playing really well.
So go ahead, Joe.
I just think that I think that when we talk about Atlanta, I just don't think that we talk enough about losing a 20-10 guy out of the lineup. That's a big deal for that team. He was their best
Hunter.
Right. And losing DeAndre Hunter, losing Jalen Johnson, but Jalen Johnson in particular, one of your best rebounders, probably your best transition player, who can score probably your best transition player. Then you got your best rotation player in DeAndre Hunter. Losing those two guys, and they don't play defense like they did. They don't rebound like they did. And Trae is still for all intents and purposes, Trey. It's just that he had a lot. I think this was the most talented team that he's been on. And he had a lot of guys covering up for the mistakes that he was making early. Well, now that DeAndre's gone, now that Jalen Johnson is gone, those putbacks, those transition points, they don't look the same as they did 2 months ago. And this Brooklyn team, a lot of these guys, I don't know if a lot of you guys noticed, a lot of these dudes are playing for contracts. So these dudes are not just getting on the court and just happy to be in the NBA. No, I'm trying to stick around. And like Cam Johnson, I watched them a couple of nights ago against the Celtics. I'm thinking to myself, the Celtics letting these dudes hang around, you're going to end up losing. You're going to end up losing to these dudes. Keep it up.
Just and people said Jordy Fernandez is not one of the best coaches in the league.
No, he's coaching. He's coaching his ass off over there.
Atlanta legitimately might make the playoffs.
They will. They have no choice.
Do you know how
below Atlanta? Look below Atlanta, Mars.
Yeah, I know it's Miami, it's Orlando, it's Chicago. Like they're the only, like Chicago are gonna make the play-in. Like it's ridiculous what's going on. That 7 through 10 in the East sucks. Two of them are gonna make the playoffs.
So I don't think Atlanta's gonna make it, and I think I do like the Magic and I do like the Heat in the playoffs. And I'm not saying that they're
probably the two best teams there. They're probably the two best teams of the bunch. Yeah,
I think the Heat have lost what 8 or 9 straight, something like that.
Yeah, the Heat are there.
They're both gonna get fried. Cleveland and Boston just have a free first round. Like they're gonna fry them.
Right.
Like it's like
why can't the
OKC might have to see
the Magic just pop the Cavs. I'm not saying they're gonna do it. Then they're gonna pop them in the playoffs, but I mean we know the Magic have 2 very good stars, young stars. They got a good defense. I think it'll be a hard 5-5 game.
I just don't like this. I just don't like this one. I just don't like this one game playoff. I don't like this one game playoff spot because Atlanta having to, like, if the playoff started today. I mean, if the play-in started today, they'd have to see Orlando, right? I think Orlando would beat them. And as bad as Orlando's offense is, I think that Orlando would end up. I think Orlando would end up beating them. I wish, from watching Orlando, if Paolo was a better shot taker, he would be so much better than what he is. I think that's one of the main reasons why he is as inefficient as he is, because he takes really bad shots. That's the problem with him. But then when you move down the list again, Miles, we're talking about one game, right? Right, Swiper? We're talking about one game. So if they have to see the Bulls or if they have to see Miami in one game, is it ridiculous to think that Miami couldn't pop them? Is it ridiculous to think that Chicago couldn't beat them in one game? And by the way, this is the same play-in that we've seen like the last 2 or 3 years with these these 3 teams. It's the same play-in that we've seen over the last couple of years with these 3 teams, with Miami and Chicago and Atlanta. Now we're just rotating different teams for that last spot because Orlando was in it now. And I think Indiana was in it before or something like that. But for the most part, Atlanta, I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't make the playoffs, which would not be good for them because if I'm not mistaken, doesn't San Antonio have their pick? Oh boy. Yeah. So we don't want
whoever makes it out the play-in, like at the end of the day, the East should have 6 playoff teams. Boston and Cleveland should just be given a bye, and we shouldn't have to watch Atlanta, Orlando, Miami, or Chicago play. Like it's ridiculous that I'm watching teams in the West, like the Sacramento Kings, claw to just be in the first playing game at 500, and then I see the Hawks sitting comfortable at the 7th seed, and they suck.
Meanwhile, the Heat almost 10 games.
It's ridiculous.
Meanwhile, the Heat almost 10 games under 500, and they're in the play-in tournament. This is why I told y'all the play-in tournament is nonsense. We already got a play-in tournament. It's 82 games. If you can't get in the playoffs after 82 games, you're in the playoff team. Period.
Well, I think the play-in tournament is more legitimate in the Western Conference because we actually have the Western has been playoff. I'm fine with a play.
Teams are close.
Yeah.
Like if we're talking about the 8 and let's say hypothetically, the 8 and the 9 seed after 82 games, one team has 46 wins, the other team has 45. I don't have a problem with a play-in. I really don't have a problem with a play-in. When I'm at a point where the 9 seed is 29 and 38, why do you have a chance to make the playoffs?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's just ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Like it should be a case-by-case basis, in my opinion. If the teams, and I think for the most part the 7th seed should be safe. But if like 7 through 10 is really close, like cool, I get it. It should be like if you're within 2 games, cool, have a play-in. This is unserious.
But like, this is also going to happen more because of the CBA, Mars. Like teams are not incentivized to make the playoffs and thus be more expensive. They want to be less expensive, be worse to accumulate assets, like other teams have done that are at the top now, like the Thunder, like the Cleveland, Like it just doesn't make any sense.
It makes no sense to be a mid-team. It makes no sense.
But I'm looking at the Eastern Conference Mars. I'm just like, what have they done to deserve?
Nothing. Just like if I'm being honest with you, Sacramento is 5 games behind the Clippers. That's not a playoff team. It's not. No, that's not. Just like
they'd be the 7th seed in the East. But
and I'm going over there too, Mars. If you're 9 games under 500, you're not a playoff team. No, you are not.
It makes more sense if we don't have conferences anymore in the playoffs, Chill. Like if there was no more conferences and now it's like the play-in, then it makes a lot more sense. But then the West would have 12 playoff teams, basically.
Bulls 11 games under 500. Fuck out of here, man.
Like the Bulls, I don't even know. I don't think the Bulls want to make the play-in. They're just not bad enough to be as bad as Toronto, Philly, Brooklyn, Charlotte, and Washington. So they're just hovering at 10. They're just stuck.
They would love for those other teams to come up and like let Toronto go on like an 8 or 9 game win streak at the end of the season. That would be great for us because we would drop. Yeah, 100%. We would love for that to happen.
Shout out to Chicago, man. They've been like the 10th seed for like 3 years now.
In a row. Them, Miami, and Atlanta. Those are the 3 teams that have been in the play-in tournament.
Shout out to
when we get closer to the playoffs and we get just a further depiction of exactly who's going to be the top 16 teams, maybe right when the season ends, I do want to do a simulation of a 1 through 16 and what that would look like and how we think that would go. So we'll put together a bracket. We'll do 1 through 16 and see how that would look. Also, too, what I do want to say is if we were to do a 1 through 16, as of right now, the Dallas Mavericks at 33 and 36 would be the 16th seed. Sacramento Kings at 33 and 33 would be the 15th seed. And the Detroit Pistons at 37 and 31 would be the 14th seed. And just on the outside looking in, the Hawks wouldn't make it, the Magic wouldn't make it, and the Suns wouldn't make it.
Bye. Get out of here. Goodbye.
The Suns are an embarrassment.
Oh my God.
Dallas literally don't have NBA players and Phoenix can't catch them. It's ridiculous.
They might be forfeiting games, Moss. That's where we are with the Dallas Mavericks.
And Phoenix still can't catch them.
They don't want
Dallas don't have NBA players. Phoenix have to try and win, and they can't.
The Suns don't want to win, though, y'all. They don't want to win.
Well, what difference does it make, Swiper, if they end up in the lottery? They don't have any picks. So we have to move off of these guys that we already have because we need our picks back. That's what we need. So of the teams that we're looking for, the teams that we have to get involved with this offseason, we got to get involved with Houston. We got to get involved with Brooklyn. And we have to get 3 because we know KD's not going back to Brooklyn. Okay, sure. Devin Booker, I'm confident he's not going back. He's not going back there. But we have to get with crews that have draft picks because we need our draft capital back. Because all of these guys that we have on our roster currently, they're not generating any wins. This Phoenix team, watching them yesterday, Coach Bud is looking at these dudes like, do y'all dudes even want to play? Like, why are we here? It looks like they couldn't care less about playing. So we need to get involved with teams like Houston, like Brooklyn, just teams that like Oklahoma City, teams that have a bunch of draft capital so we could get some of our picks back so we can build our team up again. Because what's currently going on right now, this team is going to be in this team is in cap hell, not only in cap hell, but they're also going to be in hell if they don't get their draft picks back. Period.
The owner said he's not trading Devin Booker. So KD's the only one. Because Bill's not going anywhere because, he hold all the cards. So KD's the only one.
And also, I think people need to kind of lay off Bill a little bit because people are coming at him and his wife and his family and all that. I'm just like, he earned that contract and then the team gave it to him and he has a no trade clause. That's y'all's fault. Like that's the league. You over-evaluated.
You didn't. You did not.
Yeah, I'm not.
Didn't have to trade for him too.
Yeah, people mad at Bill because other people made decisions and he just benefited from it. Like, I don't see the problem. If someone offers you a no trade clause and you say no, we do.
I'm mad at Ron because somebody bought him a Bentley Continental and he cruising in it. Ron, get out of that Bentley. What you doing?
Yeah, like he reaping the benefits that someone else gave to him, and you mad at him for reaping the benefits. Ain't no one tell the Wizards to give him a no trade clause and give him $50 million a year. But when they offered it to him, you best believe he was going to take it. And I think
teams deserve to get for me. And I've been on. I'm going to keep being honest. I feel like I've killed Calvin Booth a lot this year. I think you would all agree. I've said he's done a horrible job since last summer. I think the Bucks have done a horrible job. Yeah, I completely think they botched the Giannis situation. I think their team is terrible. Ron, Mr. Brook Lopez over there. Look, Horrible yesterday. Didn't do anything. Didn't defend anything.
Garbage.
Nothing.
Trash.
Horrible.
Slow.
Couldn't do anything. Couldn't work his face. Couldn't work at the rim.
Ron be capping for Brook Lopez, and I don't know what it is, but Ron be capping.
He just had an off game.
Ron, what is it about Brook Lopez that gets you turned up, Ron? Like, keep it being with your man, yo. What's up with Brook Lopez?
We've had 3 different. This is our 3rd Brook Lopez, the same iteration.
Remind me.
You say he's just as good as Al Horford. You said that.
Yeah, I wasn't on that show. I just read the comments, and I had to chime in. But I ain't listened to that.
Brook Lopez is a solid big man, and I'm gonna say what I've been saying. He stretches the floor. He's a good rim protector, and he just makes key plays for us.
That's it.
Makes key plays for us.
He shoots a 3.
He said he could do the same thing Al Horford's doing. That's what he said.
Once again,
I
did not say that. I did not say that. I did not say that. We can. Hey, what I said is he's better on the block and he's a better rim protector and he spaces the floor out better. Now, obviously, there's certain things. No, there's certain things that Al Horford does that Brook Lopez can't do, such as guard on the perimeter.
Really, an actual floor spacer. Yeah, 100%.
All right.
Yeah, you gonna stay capping for Brook Lopez?
Did you see that yesterday, bro?
Heavy.
I saw no comment whatsoever from you. I heart floaters over him. Couldn't guard the pick and roll to save his life. Couldn't get out on 3-pointers. Couldn't score.
Ron, they got this action Oklahoma City runs where they get Hartenstein cut into the basket. The action starts on the right wing. The action starts at the right elbow where Hartenstein is setting the back screen, slips the back screen, and goes to the basket. Ron, they ran that shit 4 times in a row and got a bucket on it. The same play. They ran it 4 straight times and got a bucket on it.
Look at his face. Look at Ron's face. That's when he's not listening to you.
That's
when he's
trying to ignore what you're saying. That's the best team in the NBA.
4 times in a row.
Ron, I'm gonna ask this, and I'm being genuine. Of all the legitimate, really good teams, who is Brook Lopez going to be good against in the playoffs?
Of all the legitimate teams?
Ron, the playoffs start today.
Legitimately good teams. So Cleveland, Boston, the Knicks, the Pacers, OKC, Denver. Who is he playable against? Ron, you put Brook Lopez out there and be like, oh yeah, he gonna do it. He gonna help us.
Ron, y'all play Ron. The playoffs start today. Y'all got Indiana. What does he do against Indiana, Ron?
He's unplayable. Get him off the court.
Not unplayable against.
Get him off the court.
All right, y'all.
Ron, wait, Ron, stay right here, Ron. Tell me why Brook Lopez is effective against the Indiana.
He's effective because Brook does what he does. Like y'all looking at just the one thing that he can't guard on the perimeter. Y'all not looking at him being potentially on any given night our best shooter. Potentially, well, not even potentially, our best rim protector. Y'all not looking at the other things Brook Lopez does. Y'all not looking at Brook Lopez scoring in the paint. Y'all not looking at all these other things that Brook does.
How is he?
Give me Jericho Sims, man. Give me Jericho Sims.
Look, and here's what I'm saying. Here's also what I'm saying too. Giannis can't play 5 minutes, cool. Bobby Portis is coming back. He can play the 4. Kyle Kuzma can play the 4. It's a lot of different iterations of lineups that we can play. But here's the thing. If Tyrese Halliburton, and this is my man, and he's getting busy this year. If Tyrese Halliburton is going to go on a heater and average 30 and 15, then they beating everybody. If that's the case, so if he is going to isolate Brook Lopez and cook him through a 7-game series, 6-game series, y'all might even say that'd be a sweep if Hallie does that. All right, cool. If he does that, then we're getting packed up.
Why and Chill does that sometimes too. When I say something in particular, y'all go to these extremes. I never said Hallie has to average 30 and 15 in a series for them to win that series. They're going to space them out, and Brook Lopez doesn't have the foot speed to stay on the court consistently versus that team. It's what I actually think is the issue. It's the secondary and tertiary things he's going to have to do in terms of rotation and all that stuff. And I think having Miles Turner on the court with Brook Lopez, Chill, is probably going to be a problem. That's going to be an issue. You don't think that's going to be an issue?
No.
Ron,
no.
Like 100% is, Ron.
We are not staying up all night worrying about Miles Turner.
Yes, you are.
We're nowhere. All right, but when
nobody's staying up all night worrying about Miles.
You're gonna be worried about the pick and roll. It's not Miles Turner, but you're gonna be worried about the pick and roll. And Brook Lopez plays the deepest drop in the NBA. Tyrese Halliburton torches drop coverage. Bad recipe. I don't know what to tell you. That's a bad recipe.
Ron,
Mars. Let me ask you real quick, Mars. Will Bobby Portis change the series at all if he comes back in time?
if he takes Brook Lopez spot in the
knowing how you feel about Bobby, I'm just curious. I know you're gonna keep it real.
Maybe if Brook Lopez isn't on the court and you have Bobby Portis out there with Giannis at the 5, maybe that's more tenable. Me personally, I'd go with Giannis at the 5 in heavy doses, Kuz at the 4. You get Torian out there, Gary Trent and Dame. That's probably what I would go with. But you can't. I'm not this Brook Lopez thing. It's unserious to me. He can't move. I don't know, like he can't move. He's 36. He had a back surgery 2 years ago. He can't move. Like he can't. He just can't. And these teams, all the best teams in the NBA, move a lot of actions, secondary actions, third actions. He can defend the first one. Cool. He can defend the first action. When it's time to make the second rotation, the third rotation, then you realize, oh, Brook Lopez really hasn't left the lane in about 18 seconds. Like he can't move. There's no reason why he should be playing.
What teams can he play against in the East?
Detroit.
Okay.
The list stops. That's it. I mean, the playing teams, the playing teams.
I don't know.
Like a center that got a non-offensively inclined center in Detroit. That's about it. Honestly, maybe a Kongwu. Maybe a Kongwu. Like,
yeah, I mean, if you want to include the playing teams, then he got it. But I'm talking about the playoff teams, the good teams in the East.
Orford's gonna torch that dude, and Ron's return.
Boston and Cleveland, he flat out just can't play.
Ron, we said just like that means
problems. The Pacers, to me, that's a problem. But even then, you could be like, well, they've had some success in the regular season.
Didn't we just pack up the Pacers?
Yeah, you just won that game. You just won that game.
So what are we talking about?
As I was getting,
we just beat the Pacers.
The Pacers, you can say he could play. I still think there's gonna be major problems in the postseason against a team like the Pacers. But he can be in the rotation. Cool. Play him 14 minutes. Cool. Every other team, he shouldn't even be on the floor.
Too, Ron, you're too smart for this because you're too. That's why I ask you basketball questions. Because you troll all the time. But I know when I ask you a basketball question, you'll answer me directly. I know. Hold on, Ron. Those are multiple teams. It's not a we. No, listen to me, Ron. If I scheme for a team for a 7-game series, that's a much different thing than playing you once in a regular season setting.
Swiper, they're going to attack for a team. That Brook team schemes back
constantly, and on top of that, they don't even have the
scheme back is going to be taking Brook Lopez off the floor, but
and then they don't even have the defenders on the perimeter to stay with them on the perimeter. Like, you just think about Pascal in that series, Hallie in that series, Benny in that series. Shoot, if I'm Aaron Neesmith, I'm looking at Brook Lopez saying,
How we talk about Joker and keeping him in the action. That's what they're doing with Brook Lopez.
And he can't score to make up for it on the other end.
They 100% are keeping him in the action. And what Mars just described, where
you getting 30 from Brook every game,
where we make that first
30 from Brook. We're not
asking for 30. You're gonna get a smooth 12.
Mars just described the quarterback who, as soon as we come out of the huddle, that's where I'm going. I ain't even looking at my secondary. I ain't looking at my secondary option. I'm not looking at my third.
That's how T. Higgins was looking at Riley Cooper instead of PS2.
As soon as I come out the huddle, that's where I'm going. I ain't even looking at nothing else.
Where you at? I put him in the slot right now. Is that him? Oh, hey, Joe.
That's it.
Hand up.
That's
Hand
it.
up.
And I'm not doing nothing else. Give me a break, bro.
Hey, I'm running a zig route on him now.
All I'm saying, once again, we just beat the Pacers. Swiper wasn't saying nothing about Brook Lopez. Swiper wasn't saying nothing when we packed up his nuggets.
I've already told you this. Brook hasn't played well versus Denver for the last 4 years. I don't know what to tell you. I don't think it's a good series.
He blew by Jokic that time.
He did.
He was just tearing Jokic up.
He had 22. Again, this is what I'm saying. You so lost in these single sample sizes. I'm telling you, you have a series. I think Brook is cooked. Because think about it. Now, if he's playing drop versus Denver, you know good Jamal Murray is versus drop. You know good Jokic is versus drop.
I'm not saying that we're going to see a Nuggets in a Bucks finals.
I think it's Brunson.
The point I was making is he looked good against the Pacers, who more than likely we're going to see in the first round. He looked good against you guys.
One game.
But then
they play again soon this week.
This is what I'm saying. You guys are overreacting, and I understand. Like we've seen a full season sample size of them, but you guys are we're
overreacting.
We are reacting. We are reacting to a game against the Oklahoma City Thunder.
I saw him play versus the Miami Heat 2 years ago too.
I've been saying this about Brook Lopez for a very long time.
Okay, so when Brook comes and gets busy tomorrow night, I want you guys to be in here just as loud.
You didn't say anything about last night.
Just as loud.
You haven't said anything about last night.
Ron, I'm not saying Brook Lopez can have games where he scores the ball well. Cool, he can have games where he blocks shots. What I'm saying is The man cannot move. And in order to defend the teams in the Eastern Conference, you have to be able to move. Brook Lopez going and having a game where he scores 27 doesn't change the fact that the man can't move. Brook Lopez could go score 40 tonight or tomorrow night, and I will say the same thing. He can't move.
There's other big men in the league that can't move too.
Like who?
How many of them are starting
like
Jokic
against the Cavs and the Celtics?
You keep comparing him to a dude at the top of the league, though, for obvious
because
reasons.
Brook Lopez is more athletic than him. That's why.
And he's a much worse player.
He can't
move.
No way. Not today, Ron.
He can't move. Brook can't move. I'm not arguing who they are as players. We're talking about.
But you keep bringing that up. That's a bad point. It's another bad point. It's why you're not in the PCL. That doesn't make any sense. Because if you're comparing him, you have to compare him to somebody in the same role. That's the issue.
No, you don't. No, you
yes,
don't.
you do.
We're talking about players that can't move. Okay, I'm saying it's other players that can't move in the league that they're competent in their roles. Brook Lopez is
competent in their roles, right? Ron.
If you have a center,
still not producing as much as Jokic. I understand. Jokic is kind of
Jokic as a player.
Yeah, I know that. Ron. I know. I'm just saying, like, it don't really matter, though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
if Jokic was Brook Lopez on offense, if Jokic was Brook Lopez on offense, he would be unplayable in the postseason.
Unplayable. He wouldn't be a player. He wouldn't be a player.
Unplayable.
You'd be out the league.
Okay, and if Jokic was Brook Lopez on defense at the rim, then what?
What?
And he can't move.
No, I'm just saying if he was Brook Lopez at the rim, then what?
So just rim defense. He
would be more playable, right?
So he can't do anything else but just protect the rim.
No, if he was Brook Lopez at the rim and he could shoot the way he shoots, he would be Brook Lopez.
What?
I mean, shooting and rim protection is what Brook does, but I mean,
Ron,
all he does. Ron, you hear yourself in a playoff setting. All he can do is protect the rim right next to the basket. That's it. What else can he do?
That's a good thing, Swiper.
That's a great thing, but you guys just
being able to protect the rim.
Until you have to like actually like move.
Right, and that's I agree.
What about a sprint out to the corner?
Ron swear he hates this buck zone, and then it doesn't acknowledge the fact that the reason they have to play zone so much because
of Lopez. That's why they have to play zone.
Oh man, I hate when Doc goes to that zone. Why do you think he's in that zone?
I think they can man up. I think they can man up.
I'm laughing at because being competent in
Ron, you already saw Brook versus the Miami Heat. And they got dog
I know
ball.
how to do the job.
Brook Lopez couldn't guard the Heat.
We're going to see. All right.
What, we're going to see him start moving? We're going to see him start moving?
No. Brook Lopez is going to be
then I'm going to say the same stuff.
Ron, do you actually believe that? You rather have Brook Lopez over Al Horford?
It depends on the team and it depends on the scenario.
No, it doesn't, Ron. Stop doing this. Right. What are we doing, Ron?
But this is not necessary with the Al Horford.
Bro, y'all keep bringing up Al Horford. I'm not bringing up Al Horford.
I know, Ron. I'm just saying, like, you just answering. I know you're not bringing it up, but I just hate the way you answer it, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. We could just. I think we could stop with Al. Like, I like Brook Lopez too, but when we get to talking about Al Horford, I don't think there's really a conversation.
One's the first ballot Hall of Famer, the other one's Brook Lopez.
Well, there's that. You know what I'm saying?
All right, y'all. Masinko sent through a super chat. He said Durant, Melo, Luau, Danny Granger, Gerald Green, Mikal Petrus, Joe Johnson, and Jamario Moon. Clear Pierce. F Boston with all disrespect. Trolling aside, dub panel, making work go by fast.
Troll alert.
How long was Jamario Moon even in the league for? Like 3 years?
Maybe 4, maybe 3 or 4 years. He was in
First off, he should have said Thermal Swift. That's a real name that should have been on that list.
Yes.
That was a fire super chat machine.
Ron, I do appreciate you bringing the energy every day, bro. Like you're one of the reasons the show does so well, bro. I truly appreciate you, man. You're great. You're great at what you do.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're like the 18th reason for sure.
Hey, some got to be the 18th reason.
Yeah, exactly.
You're my 18th reason why. Go ahead.
Realist123 said KD and Booker are not a good fit as a duo. Their game is mainly jump shooting, no pressure at the rim. If you play rough against them, they break. Shunts to trade them and Bill and start fresh.
Look, if they could trade Bill, they would.
Bill's gonna be there.
If they could have traded Bill, they would have.
Get real comfortable. You got a neighbor. Bill moved in.
I have no insight. I'm fairly confident KD will not be on the Suns next season. I'm also fairly confident Devin Booker will be. So unless he requests a trade,
I wouldn't trade Devin Booker either. But I'm sure there's a destination that Bradley Beal would sign off for. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Phoenix.
I'm sure.
But another team is not signing off on him.
He said he happy in Phoenix. He's made it very clear he happy.
And don't think for 1 second, Ox, that they haven't offered him trade options. Hey, Brad, how you feel about How you feel about And he was like, nope, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm sure of the same thing. All I'm saying is there's somewhere where Brad would be like, all right, yeah, make it happen. You know, so they just gotta figure it out.
So I'm trying to. Never mind. I don't even want to do that because that game's gonna get long. Because there's now Drew Holiday. Somebody told me yesterday they think Drew's gonna get moved this summer. He has 3 more years left and a player option on the last year.
That's because of the money. That's why
he'll be 37 that player option year. Would you rather have Bradley Beal or Drew Holiday going forward?
I think. How long is Bill's contract?
3 more years for Bill.
Yeah, after this season,
3 more years after this one.
3 more years after this one.
I'm pretty confident it's
Drew Holiday.
Let me check. I looked it up. Yeah, I could be wrong.
It's this season, and he's got 2 more years after this season.
Contract.
Drew Holiday.
Hold on. So chill.
Shout out to Bradley Bill's agent. That's the Hall of Fame. I don't know who Bradley Bill's agent is.
No, he has. Yeah.
Shout out to Bradley Bill's agent
and a player option.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to Bradley Bill because he was cooking.
Which he is not leaving.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, he was hooping. That's why he got offered the contract.
He is not.
But shout out to Bradley Bill's because he's the only player in the league with a no trade clause, right?
And James. James on that.
Oh, I'm Braun. You in a group with Braun? Shout out to your agent.
Hold on. I think there's only been 9 no trades in NBA history, if I remember correctly.
Didn't Melo have one?
Yeah, Melo did have one.
Dirk had one too, I think.
That's fine.
Why would the Wizards do that? Who do you think Bradley Bill is?
He was.
I heard, and I might be mistaken.
Back-to-back 30-point seasons.
I might be mistaken. So don't hold me to this. I'm pretty sure Steph asked for a no trade clause and didn't get it.
Which one? The 16 contract?
No, that extension
like
that he just signed.
His most recent extension.
Yeah, that extension that
I'm
like
pretty sure he asked for a no trade clause and didn't get it.
Well, you know the internet.
Like, I might be wrong about that. So like, don't be like, I'm not saying this with
Marlon. He signed $120 million extension.
Like I'm like 40%. I'm like
Mars. If you were a GM, would no trade clause be an option for your players?
That's interesting. Now, Mark,
I think
that would never even be on the table.
You have like a Wemby. It's like I would consider it, but even then, it's like anything that handicaps my freedom, like my ability to do something, I'm probably not gonna buy into. Like if I can't trade you, like I don't like that. Like I want to be able to trade you. Like if I am a GM, I'm speaking from a GM's perspective. Yep. Not having that option, like.
I mean, we also have. I thought there were 5 players that could have no. I thought Jokic, Giannis, Luka, Tatum, and I remember the last one I had on there. I would think they were all qualified for no trades, but once Luka got traded, that all went out the window because obviously
there's only been 10 players with no trade clauses. Bron and Bill right now, David Robinson, John Stockton, Kobe, Tim Duncan, KG, Dirk, Dwayne Wade, and Carmelo.
And Bradley Bill's on that list.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
So a lot of them are like legacy guys with a franchise.
So wait, David Robinson was the first one?
I'd assume he was the first one, yeah.
Or John Stockton.
I'd assume David Robinson's came first, but I don't know.
I think Stock signed that contract later. He signed an extension later on. That's why he got a no trade clause.
It's a legacy thing with those type of guys. Like you've been here so long, you've done all of this for the franchise. Shout out to Bradley Beal, man.
Which would for business purposes, I know we got to move on around. For business purposes, Mars, that's one of the reasons why you would have it. So, for example, with James with the no trade clause, so he signs an extension next year, and it's a 1-year extension, and it's a no trade. He decides that I'm going to retire. Well, we got to put together the farewell tour. I don't want to give Golden State that. I don't want to give the Celtics that. I don't want to give any other team that. From a business standpoint, I definitely want to be the team that he retires with, and we got we have the farewell tour with him on our roster, considering what it is for business. If you got a legacy guy, I think it's a little bit different.
Yeah. For the right player, it wouldn't even be a big deal for me. Like, let's say,
for like if Wemby comes, and Wemby, assuming he's healthy, Wemby comes into his next extension asking for a no trade clause. It's like I wasn't going to trade you anyway, so it doesn't really affect me. But then it's like something like drastic could happen. It's like, well, maybe now we have Wemby on a $60 million contract, and it probably doesn't make sense. So maybe we do want to trade him. Now we just can't. Like I don't think it ever makes sense for the owner or the GM or the franchise to give someone a no trade clause. It makes a bunch of sense for the player. Like, and I'm not saying I'm anti no trade clause because if a player can get one, go get one. I stand with Bradley Beal. Go get a no trade clause. But for the franchise, it just doesn't make sense to me.
Can anybody on PC get a no trade clause? I think Chill could. I think Chill can get one. No trade clause.
No, from the way that they talk about me, shit, I'm getting traded for a bucket of extra crispy and a 6-pack. The way that they talk about me around.
Shout out my man Julius C. He dropped that in his battle too. He said, I can't remember exactly what he said, but he said something was worth somebody was worth a bucket of extra crispy.
Chill. The fact that you got
he said Zion's weight was inefficient, and that made me die laughing.
Chill, you got all the sayings and stuff out there. I mean, everybody, goes at you because you're the most popular. I mean, we might go with no trade. I'll talk to Dave. I'll talk to Dave.
Yo, Mars, what'd you say in the chat after that? You said, what's his warp?
Yeah, what's his warp? Weight over replacement player. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Zion's weight being inefficient was crazy. That was amazing. I nearly gave him that round just because of that.
Yo, shout out to Average Joe. He sent through a super chat. Before I read this, I want to shout out our Hall of Famers: Tyrus Williams, Cobra Son of Raditz, SSGSS Popo, Cheese, Vale, and Multi Kenny. Hope to see y'all up on Hall of Fame Friday when the new bracket will be revealed on who moves to the next round of the PCL this Friday. So y'all stay tapped in. We still do got 2 more days before we get there. But Average Joe sent through a super chat, and he said, if the Bucks falter, it will not be because of Brook. It will be because Dame can't consistently generate quality looks, and Doc Rivers is god-awful. Brooks will be the scapegoat, though.
Yeah, Dame.
I think Doc will be the scapegoat. I'm gonna put out
that boy. Case and Wallace, Chill.
Make sure that bring that part up, Swiper, because it's not
that Case and Wallace guy's a hell of a defender.
Yeah, let's not make it sound like Dame can't generate quality. He only took 9 shots yesterday, and when do we know Dame? When do we know Dame not to shoot? Well, yesterday when I'm watching, when Case and Wallace was on him, when he got off the ball,
my God,
it made it impossible for him to get it back. And when he did get it back,
Chill with the ball,
yes. When he got off the ball,
what's this year 2 for Kaysen?
Yes.
Hey, you gotta love to see a young fella play defense like that. That's beautiful.
But
Charles Barkley wasn't lying about them young boys.
Amazing defender. All of a sudden, I
bro,
don't give him that praise.
Bro, Kaysen is crazy. I'm watching. Dame's a really good ball handler. I'm dead watching Kaysen like Ox. Do you know that little shuffle drill we did full court, like just for condition or whatever, let you hit. He's just slide,
yep,
slide, and staying with him the whole way. I mean, trust me, hey Mars, I got the dead in my head. Slide.
No, Swap, you see, I see how you moving right now, Swap. I'm just out of curiosity. You ever got down with the Average Joes, the dance crew?
Average Joes, nah. No, I don't know what the Average Joes are. No, are those the big dudes that dance? Right, just regular people that dance. I don't know what the Average Joes are.
I just
the thing that I was for Denver in the Nuggets.
So
you ain't ever danced during the halftime show?
No, I would though. I got some footage. I got some footage of people dancing that you'll know from the Hawks game the other day. I'll send out, but no, I don't dance.
Let's be clear about that. Yes, he does.
I thought for sure you was one of the.
To reiterate that point, Ron. Yo, I mean, this is the second time in a row that an elite scorer has gotten boxed up. So this is a testament to Oklahoma City's defense. The box up Dame, and Dame is not one of those guys that's only going to take 9 or 10 shots. Case and Wallace did a great job on him, keeping the ball away from him. I think they practiced that. Him, Lou Dort, Alex Caruso. Once you get off the peel, you're gonna have a difficult time getting it back. A very difficult time getting it back. And Dame was shooting shots that he wouldn't normally shoot because he had to get shots off.
But that's where Dame's size. I think that's why the playoffs matter. Dame is not big. I keep telling y'all, he is not a big dude. So I think when you can actually put like some similar size on him that's stronger, quicker, more athletic, I think that's why Dame struggles. Like they got a bunch of them doing. And then you got Lou Dort. Lou Dort's just, think about it. You can just they're gonna have Lou Dort just chilling somewhere off some off ball. And then SJ is gonna be on your worst perimeter player. And he's just gonna be chilling. So like you hunt out Callis, Caruso, and then you hunt out Lou Dort, then you hunt out SJ, then you hunt out J-Dub. Where you going? You ain't got nowhere to go. I think Dame that'll be his worst series in the league. They're all bigger than him. Mars. Every single one of those players are bigger than Dame.
Yeah, well, you tell them chunks to make it to the finals.
That means they made it to the finals. Yeah, if that's the West Series, that means they made it to the finals. I think
you tell them make it there, we'll see them. But also too, keep in mind, OKC was, which I'm assuming they was feeling some type of way. We beat them in the in-season tournament championship, so they was trying to get their get back, and they got it.
And Shea had one of them games where he couldn't make a 3. Shout out to Shea. But
40% from the field.
Shout out to Chet, by the way. He looking more and more like himself as time goes
For that
on.
defense on Giannis with Hardenstein and Chet in the middle, I was like, oof.
Yeah, Chet getting back to first, 10 games of the season before he got hurt? First 10 games of the season, Chet. Last couple games, I've been impressing against good competition, the Bucks and the Celtics.
I mean,
Chet been looking chetty.
I'm watching Kyle Kuzma try to guard SG on one-on-one. I'm just.
I mean, who would you roll?
I'm telling you, that's the problem. Yeah. That's the problem. I want it to be Giannis at some point. I don't know. Tell you, you just got to get out and do it. Yeah, you just got to get out there and do it because they can't do it. Somebody got to do it. Somebody
do it.
I know, but somebody. He's the best one.
Somebody's gonna have to do it though.
He's better than Kuzma now.
He's not. Y'all think Giannis is gonna subject himself to being on national television, getting dragged
I'm sorry.
from side to side,
we cannot
all
be,
over the court
as a population.
No
we cannot
way.
be saying Giannis has to take Shea assignments. Meanwhile, there's a certain someone who plays the 5, and I'm told he don't even need to protect the rim because he can pass. But somehow Giannis has to guard Shea.
No.
Be careful, Mars. Be careful, Mars.
I'm talking about in that matchup because Kuzma was getting filleted. And I'm saying Giannis is just standing there watching, like hands on his hip, because it's like, well, I mean, I can't leave because there's a shooter over here. So good luck.
Yo,
good luck.
I mean, what is Gary Trent and Torian Smith?
Yo, it don't matter. We are talking about Shea. What the hell? What are we talking about?
Andre Jackson back in the rotation.
He actually looked kind of nice in the last 4 minutes that they put him in.
I think Giannis is their best defender, by and large.
Aside from that, Giannis don't need to be nowhere near Shea picking up them fouls. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Instead, you just deal with it. Either you double him or you just deal with it. Did y'all see what he did to the Pistons?
Yes.
Did y'all see what he was doing to Asar Thompson?
You're not getting the chance. That's what I'm telling y'all. Y'all keep playing these games with Shea. Why are y'all playing these games with Shea? I'm not giving you the opportunity. You're not gonna find out.
Yeah, you trapping him at half court. Yeah, you trapping him at half court. He getting
down the half court, Mars.
As soon as he catch up.
Shea had a Thompson twin.
Yeah.
Hey, we are talking about a Thompson twin.
Yes.
Baby.
Jamal was cooking him. What do you think Shea gonna do to him? That guards don't care. Elite scoring guards don't care about one-on-one defenders, y'all. They don't. Shea is the best. I'm not giving you an opportunity. And that's out of respect. This is like me looking at Harden in 18-19. I don't care. I'm not prideful about this. Trap.
Swiper. Can you wait a second, Swiper? Can you go back and answer Mars' question?
Which one?
I'm saying the fact that you calling out Giannis
is a much better defender, 100%.
Yes, I'm saying if you calling him,
I'm saying he's the best bet. I just
stay matchup.
No. I'm saying on that team
Jokic,
where they are
go
right
handle
now,
your business next time y'all play the Thunder.
By the way, Jokic locked up SGA in crunch time and got a steal. I don't know what to tell you. He did. It happened. I don't know what to tell y'all. It did happen. All I'm saying is, this is me being heavy on Giannis. I think Giannis is really good. And I'm saying that, in this situation, Kuzma, you just lucky he missed all his jump shots. Kuzma was getting baked. Torian's getting baked. I'm just trying to figure out, Giannis, I know it's not about him being, the best option, but who else is going to do it? They have no other chance. It should be Brook Lopez, according to Ron, but Brook Lopez can't stay. He couldn't stay in the court. He couldn't get past the free throw line.
Hey, look, Hey, to keep it a buck, before Giannis go out there, Brook need to go out there. Giannis don't need to be I'm keeping with my same initial point. Giannis don't need to be nowhere near Shea picking up them fouls. That's the point I'm making.
And neither does Brook.
Hey, I'd rather Brook.
I agree with that. Yeah,
I would rather Brook pick up the 6 fouls than Giannis.
Wait, but hold on, because I'm thinking about it a little bit though. You might just want. I'm not saying he's gonna lock him. Saying but you need to try it though. You got to check it out and see what the long defender can do. If Giannis can stay on the ground, keep a little distance, and hand up. I'm just saying. It's not like Shea hella fast or something. So you could take a step back. He got the long arms. Just touch right here, hand right above the belly button. We right here with it all day. Sit down, stay down, keep a hand up and contest. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the contact,
you ever play with a dog? You ever had a tennis ball and play with a dog? And you know the one where you throw it like this and the dog.
Bro, I'm not saying
Giannis
going to lock in, bro. I'm not even insinuating that. All
you know,
I'm
you
saying
have the
is
food and you just get to doing this. And the dog get to doing that.
With Giannis's build, strength, length, and athleticism, that might be the best matchup for Shaq. You know what I'm saying? If he can stay disciplined, he got to stay disciplined.
I mean, he's the best on the team. Best on that team.
They can win the series.
Andre Jackson is the best on the team. But if Giannis could genuinely guard Shea and do a hell of a job, that man's the best player I ever seen. I don't know what to tell you. There is no way he can guard Shea.
No, but
we're not talking about 4 games. We're not talking about 4 games, Mars. I'm talking about the third. I'm talking about the third quarter of game 2. I'm talking about the first half of game 4. Yeah, I'm talking about first half of game 4, third quarter game 2.
I'm pulling up
closing the game 6. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you take the matchup. I don't think that's something you should try to do all game. I don't even know if it'll work. All I'm saying is to swipe his point, you know, he got me thinking. Bro, that might not because Shea's not super fast. Like
all the highlights of the one-on-ones between those two
friends.
Right now.
My fellow panelists, can we please talk about another team guarding SGA? Please.
What do you mean?
Can we talk? We got 28 other teams in the NBA to talk about.
No, but I'm saying, I'm just saying, Ron. I was watching yesterday and I was defeated. At least the Nuggets know what are we doing. I mean, to be fair, Christian Brown did as good of a job as you can expect Christian Brown to do. But they just started trapping him. Said you're just not going to beat us. And then meanwhile, Jokic is just doing all these behind the backs and post moves and all this other stuff. And then Jamal Murray, drop cover. I'm saying you gotta find a way. I'm just not letting SGA beat me like that. Not a guard. Not with that team. Not with that team on it. Respectfully.
I'm just saying. And also on top of that run, he's just the primary defender. He's not guarding Shea by himself. Y'all got to come up with the scheme. Where are we trapping Shea? And who's doubling with certain matchups on the floor? If they got this 5 on, we got this 5 on. Giannis, you're the primary defender. You're strong help. Your eyes on him. Checking for your man, eyes on him. Anytime Shea gets to this point, he hard double, hard trap. But those type of schemes that could throw him off in game 2. You know what I mean? If let's say the Bucks just get game 1, game 2 we throw that on them. Now we up 2-0. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying we just talking talking culture.
I'm not lying, Mars. You said Andre Jackson. I'm watching the December game, the in-season tournament championship. Andre Jackson. Not doing a bad job.
He's their best answer. I'm telling you, he's their best answer. He's their best.
He looked good in that last, like I said, that last 4 minutes.
Andre Jackson
got baked one time though. Oh my God, Shea did him so dirty.
He won't even look at the basket. 15 feet away from the basket. He won't look at the basket.
Sure, that's cool. When you on offense, focus on Shea. Focus on Shea. Or when you on offense, focus on Shea. When you on defense, focus on Shea. As a matter of fact, look, when we in a timeout, you looking in they focus on Shea.
When the Bucks are on offense, his responsibility is to make sure that Shea doesn't get the ball on the inbounds. That's it. It's not worried about making a shot in the corner. It's not worried about crashing the offensive glass. It's when this shot goes up, where's Shea? That's it. When he shoots, go pick up Shea instantly. Don't hold your phone. Don't crash. Go get Shea. That's it.
Mars, I'm talking about why you're on offense.
He better dunk it like Melo. Don't even hold it.
He should definitely be guarding Shea while he's on offense.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, Mars. While you're on offense, you just following Shea around. I don't care who Shea guarding. On offense, you follow him around. You might get in the way, but we gonna risk it. As soon as the shot go up, who is denied?
Brook Lopez can score on his face.
Everything that you guys are saying, I'm 100% confident I've seen this movie before. And I think I've seen this movie with a guy by the name of Andre Roberson. That's the guy that I'm remembering specifically. The guy was trying to keep the ball. He was trying to keep the ball. He was trying to keep the ball away from Steph Curry. He was trying to do that. But it was 5-on-4.
Andre Roberson, look, I'm not gonna lie. I'm watching all these highlights, bro. He did a good job on Shea. Like, you got to make Shea at least hit over length, and that's what he did.
Did you just call him Andre Roberson?
Andre Jackson's the best bet.
Jackson.
If Andre Jackson was a competent offensive player, he would start. It's just
he would be their starting wingman. He's the difference. If he can knock that open.
Well, actually, Torian Prince has that stuff over Darvin Ham and stuff, so he's gonna start. So he might start the
2. Oh my gosh, he just on Bobby Portis and put him on the ground. Golly, that's a foul.
Jordan gonna be here tomorrow, right? I want to run this by him, see how he feels about this.
Run what by him?
Andre Jackson. Andre Jackson.
So we are not talking about the Bucks guarding Shea anymore until we get to the finals.
You know what? I'm watching all these Brook Lopez highlights. You know what he's doing?
He ain't that slow swiping. No way.
That's kind of
Andre Jackson doing all the work. He just back here.
Oh, thank you, Chill. Box Score Watching Wayne said, Dub Mike.
Dub Mike.
Tyler T said the Celtics still better. Jokic still better. Have a blessed week, everyone. Absolutely, yo.
Y'all 18-wheelers need they gotta, when they turn it right, Chill, they gotta go out left. That's what it's.
That wide turn. That wide turn you talking about? I'm familiar. I don't know if you know this, Swiper, but I got a CDL, so I'm proficient.
Y'all better
hope.
I swear, y'all better hope.
Put the little green sign in the bottom right corner. He got to put that on the bottom right corner of his hoop shorts. Wide turns, caution.
Yes, sir.
Hank Jones with the super chat. He said, "Shout out to Mike the Champ, 3-0, masterful work."
3-0, damn.
Yeah,
he brought the.
I ain't even watched that third. I ain't watched that third round again, so
I did.
Yeah, I ain't watched that third round, so I can't say 3-0. But shout out to
hey, Ron, we petitioning for all the extra time that our opponent leaves. Anytime my opponent leaves 20 seconds, I need that.
Mike did that.
Yeah, that would be cool. If someone's gonna leave time, yeah, maybe you can get extra time. But I also don't think it's a negative. Like if you address every point you want to make and you have 20 seconds left, that shouldn't go against you.
You know, that's 100% it should. Even if
I made my point, why I need a whole minute and a half?
Even if I don't get the time, that should definitely go against you. That should definitely
because I can make my points
because the point is it's just like when we used to have to write essays in school. I don't know if y'all still do those, but when we used to write essays in school, it has to be at least. I need 3 pages. I need 1,500 words. I need 1,500 words.
Isn't a minimum.
But that's what I'm saying. It's not. Don't look at it as a time limit. Look at it as this is the amount of time you need.
Time limit.
No, that's not. Listen to what I'm saying, Mars. What I'm saying is,
Mars,
listen to what I'm saying. That's not. And this is what I'm saying. This isn't a shot clock. This is a game clock. You have to use this whole time. In a game, a game you don't. It's not. It's a game is.
This point is we don't get the game. Game ain't.
Don't look at it. Don't look at it like a shot clock. Look at it like a game clock.
It's not the way that works.
But it's not. Okay. If I make every point I want to make, and I have 15 seconds left, I'm not going to just start rambling for 15 seconds because I have time left.
Don't ramble. Come up with some more facts. Don't ramble.
If I make my points in a timely fashion.
Mars, I understand what you're saying. I'm saying that you should be. You're saying you shouldn't. I'm saying you should. That's it. No big deal.
We just disagree, and I don't know what the judges think. Like, maybe the judges view it your way, maybe they view it my way. I'm gonna die on the hill that if you address every point you want to address, you don't have to keep talking just to make up the time.
Right, Mars.
In my debate tomorrow, I'll make it abundantly clear. If I finish from what I have to say, I'm not going to just keep talking for the sake of it. I will say I'm done.
Understandable, Mars. I get what you're saying. What I'm saying is, it's just like when you had to write an essay. You can write an essay about how volcanoes erupt, but don't just explain to me how volcanoes erupt in a paragraph. I want you to get into your points and explain to me for 3 pages why do volcanoes erupt, how do they erupt, and all that. That's what I'm saying.
And the project, Ox, to your point, is 3 pages. You don't get a page and a half to leave off the table, even though you got all your points off in a page and a half. No, that's not the way that works.
Abby, why are you bringing up old shit? That was last season.
Mad Max Sports Talk said Joe Johnson, the real underrated. Josh Smith too.
Yeah, Josh Smith is my dog, Ox. I thought he was going to be a star when he came into the league.
I mean, if he didn't think he could shoot, he'd be so much better.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing, right? When we're that age, 7 years younger than where you are right now, it's just you see a dude that can jump out the gym. Like, he's big. He reminds you of LeBron in some ways. You should be good. You should be a good basketball player.
I've always had this problem with guys like using the word underrated, like it's just a buzzword instead of maybe underappreciated. His nickname is ISO Joe. That's not a self-proclaimed name. He made the All-Star team 7 times. We know who Joe Johnson is. And I don't mean us
7
up here.
times? Oh.
Yes, he made the All-Star team 7 times. So, I mean, come on, man.
Cozy Newton said, get Alex Lynn off the floor.
I just wish he was just a little better, man. For real.
No.
Jesus sent through a members chat and said, love watching this Portland team when they are locked in.
They're a good team to watch. I didn't watch that game last night, but they are a good team to watch.
We got a new member, and the new member goes by the name of Mau Mau or Momo.
Mm-hmm.
Devin sent through a members chat and said, OKC ranks 27th in free throws attempted for the season. People continue to cry about calls when it literally goes in favor of the other team. Y'all mad because they've been dog walking the league. Keep coping.
I didn't say OKC was foul baiting. I said Shea was foul baiting. He's shooting a lot of free throws, not the team.
Hey, get that boy everything.
He's shooting 9. That's a reasonable amount. You just make a ton of them.
Antoine Barnes said, chill, you my GOAT for real. When I grow up, I want to be just like you. Hashtag Clippers in 5.
Like 8 years away.
Thank you.
At the Buzzer Sports, shout out to John D. He said, biggest surprises, Jordan, Mike, and Julius C.
Yeah, I didn't know who Julius C was, so he did a good job against John D. Jordan, definitely surprised. Mike, I wasn't surprised. I was here trying to tell you guys for however long. But everyone, those two, yeah, I was pleasantly surprised.
Mars, that's crazy. You have faith in Mike and not Jordan.
I mean, I seen Jordan and I seen Mike. I knew which one I had faith in. But both of them, Mike proved me right, Jordan proved me wrong, and I apologize to Jordan.
Yeah.
But yeah,
did Jordan win?
Surprise me. I don't think so. I don't know. I think it was the rounds I vividly remember. I think it was 1-1. Carson won round 2. Jordan won round 3. I don't know who won round 1. So I don't know. I don't think he won. I think
Jordan got him in round 1.
Then we'll see what the judges think. Jordan might. If Jordan won, I'm happy.
Shout out Nurses, but
facts.
I think
Nerds.
I do think. Actually, do I think Logan won? Because Casual made some good arguments.
Man,
I don't know. That was a good debate. That was actually a good debate. I said that was a good debate.
Do you think they were ready?
I'm gonna stop dissing Casual. I'm gonna cut that out because that just comes from a place of hatred. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
That's crazy. Not real hate. You know what I'm saying? I don't hate Casual. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like I got love for Casual, honestly, but I'm just saying I always be talking shit, but Casual be cooking.
That was a good debate.
Yo, Casual be fucking cooking. I be talking about don't ball this shit. Casual get busy.
Bob Wick said, damn, nigga, you still here? LOL. That's how you feeling, Chill?
Yeah. Chill got some quotes.
Speaking of Chill having quotes and how certain people feel, one buddy sent through a member's chat and said, to all of Chill's apologists, are y'all dudes okay? Genuine question, Slim.
That dude's simpler than 2 + 2. No, I don't have. Ain't nobody apologizing for me. Like I said, that dude's simpler than 2 + 2.
5 is in the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
3 is 3 as well.
I don't know if 3 really ready to be in those talks. A bit too small, but you grow up a little bit, maybe.
Kent Lipscomb Jungla said Manu is still a top 5 shooting guard all time. That's how we should talk about him. Hashtag Castle Rookie of the Year.
I mean, that fifth spot I think is up for grabs between a few people. I don't know about Manu having it, but that 5th spot is contentious to me. The top 4 is very solidified to me, but that 5th spot could be a few people.
Tyrone Flawless Wiggins with the members chat. Tyrone said, I'm on Indeed and I can't find the debate police anywhere. Does it pay well?
You guys have Indeed in the US?
Yes. Well, do you have it in England?
I don't know. I know what it is. I don't know because I've heard about Indeed, but I don't know if it was I don't know if it started in the UK and then ended in the US, or it started in the US and is in the UK, or I just know it through the US. I don't know how I know Indeed. I just shout out to Indeed.
Yeah, we got
Shout out to the debate police.
There is Indeed in the UK. Okay, I didn't make that up. Okay, cool. As you can tell, I never had a job.
Bam Gabe with a members chat said 2 in 24 talks, 0 been begging to be there for years.
Shea is in Kobe talks. Tatum's been begging to be there for years. That's what he said. The translation. Shea better.
It's Zamzay
said, Bob gonna be so sad when the Aces suck this year.
They are not going to be bad. I'm not buying that at all.
Y'all see what y'all don't know is they got old girl from Virginia Tech too. She like a power forward. I can't remember her name, but she was cold at Virginia Tech. She got hurt. She didn't play last season. I believe that was her rookie year last year.
She was cold, but you can't remember her name.
What's that got to do with anything, right? She doesn't make her any less cold than she was before. Who cares what I know? Correct. I'm just she played good basketball. So it's not like, you know what? Aces don't need me to stick up for them. We already know what time it is. Who said that? Who sent that in the chat?
You got to rewind the video, brother.
No doubt.
But shout out to whoever sent through that super chat. Ray B said, "Just get rid of the conferences already."
Ox has convinced me. I'm down to try it. I am. I'm down to try it. And if it doesn't work, we can go back to the East and the West. But I'm down to try it. Ox has convinced me.
Hunter sent through yet another members chat. He said, "Dub panel, dub PCL, L Nuggets defense."
I'm on the fence. Not on the fence. I am fully of the idea that it's been horrible. But I also know they're not going to be this for the rest of the year come playoff time because they're simply just not doing basic things.
You know what Jokic said about teams in the regular season.
Oh, yeah, I know. I think they're just being all time lazy. They weren't even this bad. Like most of the season, they were like 15th or 14th. They just went whatever that foot off the gas thing is. I think they got out of the truck. Like I think it's like they left. They put the vehicle in park and then left the vehicle. And they have not returned to the said vehicle yet. But what's funny is tonight they're going to play very hard. You know why? Because they just got embarrassed. They lost to the Wizards. So they're going to play extremely hard tonight. And so probably going to win tonight. And then everybody's coming back on. Maybe.
Well, maybe we was. I'm not sure.
They're going to beat the Warriors. No, I know how the script goes. Yes, 100%. They're going to beat the Warriors. They're going to play defense. I'm like, oh, man, maybe. And then it's going to be, no.
Well, you guys are going to win tonight?
Yeah. This is, and
he has to lose.
Yeah, this is a glimpse into a potential first round playoff match. So I'm gonna be locked in. Y'all should be locked in because I'm almost positive we'll be talking.
You know, I love how people drink more water. According to Swiper, Milwaukee's defense just sucks, even though they're ninth. But Denver just needs to play whatever. No, Denver doesn't have the personnel. I think Milwaukee's defense is really just food. In the long run, especially come playoff time.
They are food, yo. Especially at the long run.
Yeah, and Denver's defense is a buffet. So
it's not good.
A what, Mars?
A buffet.
Oh my god.
Buffet. Chill. A gourmet buffet.
From Factor.
Buffet.
Players trace 50 off.
Ron, I'm telling you, we boxing when I see you, yo. We are straight.
Chill, you ain't finna see me.
We are boxing when I see you.
I chill you. Hey, I'm Mike. You ain't finna see me, nigga. You ain't finna see me.
I'm turning to Mike. That's tough.
More super chats from Drink More Water. Drink said, Harden for only the second time this season shot over 50% from the floor in back-to-back games. You think he finishes the season shooting over 40%?
No.
From three?
No, period.
The field.
From the floor.
Well, he's had a pretty bad situation around him, so probably maybe not, but I don't think that's indictment.
I mean, if he gets there, he'll be like 40.1. Like, if he gets there.
8 Gates Lee said, shout out to my GOAT Harden, man. 12th all-time in scoring. Melo, we coming for you, nigga.
Next.
You're going to catch Melo.
Melo got blackballed.
Yes.
So doesn't count.
Why did he get blackballed?
He did get robbed.
Daryl Morey Daryl Morey never had the conversation, per Melo's words, never had the conversation about coming off the bench or changing his role. Daryl Morey, 8 games into the season, just decided to get rid of him without having any prior contact to him.
So he didn't want to be coachable.
They made it look like it was that.
Yeah, no one ever talked to him. He said they
made it look like he wasn't coachable, and that wasn't the case.
I got to talk to you before I decide to bring you off the bench.
All right. No, it's no. The conversation.
How about that?
Anything.
How about you let me know what I'm doing? Yes.
If the question is then
yes,
if the answer is then that's cool. I'm just curious. I want to know. Like, we should have. I want to know. I just want to know this. If I let you know that I'm not going to come off the bench after, or if it's an issue that you didn't talk to me about me coming off the bench. And by doing that, it makes it look like I'm uncoachable. If other teams don't want to deal with me because I'm an uncoachable vet, am I blackballed or am I just or is it the
He's
Boogie
not
Cousins?
actually uncoachable though. I'm trying to think of a time when the only time he was uncoachable was Phil Jackson talking about him and his posses and all that stuff. That was the only person that said he was uncoachable. But Phil Jackson was off his rocker.
Yeah,
by the time 2014 came around.
Yes, and on top of that, to your point, Ox, you saw the role he accepted in Portland,
right?
Because they told
him because he found out that I can't push my issue no more. I got to do. I got to accept it. I'm gonna stay at the house.
I think that he would have segued into that role if he had that conversation with those guys in Houston.
Y'all saw what?
Y'all, not you, chat. Y'all so big media believe. Y'all will believe anything big media says because y'all are a bunch of what you call those? What are they? Sheep? Bunch of sheep about Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony had multiple conversations with coaches. The players loved him. His teammates loved him. He was a team captain on USA.
Carmelo that wouldn't check back in the game.
He was a team captain on Team USA every time he played on that team from 08, 12, and then 16. Because everybody thought he was a great leader and did what he was supposed to do. So every one of y'all just yapping.
Right. He probably did get blackballed though. All I'm saying is Melo. I think Melo got to take a little bit of accountability though. You know what I'm saying?
All I'm saying, chat, if it follows y'all, I would not let Swiper call y'all sheep.
Oh, now you want to leave, Swiper.
Yeah, he called y'all sheep and just ran out on y'all. That's crazy. All right, y'all. Well, in the meantime, we got more super chats. I got a super chat from you running 5.7. You running said, Milwaukee Bucks fan here. Doc is the worst coach I've ever seen. People weren't lying. His rotations are questionable, and his offense is the same thing. Either DHOs or ISO, and you have Damon Giannis.
And what should he be doing?
Right. And on top of it, I think Doc, since he's been there, I think he's like 17 games over 500, something like that, since he's been there.
I'd hope.
Something like that.
Deem the Dream 9-1 said Melo was uncoachable. Remember MAD with the Knicks?
No.
MAD.
Mike D'Antoni? Mike something D'Antoni? I don't know.
Yeah. Don't know.
No, but Mike was in Houston.
No, he was in.
He was with the Knicks, right?
The Jeremy Lin.
Yeah, he was with the Knicks.
He wasn't with Mike D'Antoni. Okay, I was confused because I thought MAD stood for something else. Okay. I don't know about the Mike D'Antoni situation.
Yeah. Well, he was uncoachable. I know that.
I never coached him, so I couldn't tell you.
MP13 said, "What realistic signing do the Warriors need to make to solidify themselves as contenders? Because I think they are the top of the tier 2 teams."
Kevin Durant,
who's already made it clear that he doesn't want to play there.
No, he said he didn't want to go there mid-season. That's what he said on Draymond's podcast. So in the season,
Laurie marketing is who they should already have and who they should go get.
My thing is, obviously, you want to get better, and anybody that can add Laurie Marketing or Kevin Durant, that's amazing. I think the Warriors are right now. I think they got enough.
Yeah, they cool.
For next season, right? They got enough right here for next season. No, I'm talking about next season because that was a off-season signing question. So
yeah, I mean,
right. I'm saying for you don't think they need to add anything in the offseason?
I mean, once again, everybody can afford to add something. OKC can add something. Cleveland can add something. So, I mean, I guess KD, I suppose.
Kevin Durant.
Finn Jones said, "Get him, Swiper. Jokic strapped up on Shea."
Shea stopper Jokic.
J-Rock said, "Not gonna lie, that second round topic Chill had against Mike was a dub type of pick. Chill, do you actually think Harden is worse than Maxey?"
I went off my numbers. That's what I went off of.
Average Joe said, "Best job I've seen this season on SGA is Jalen Clark and Andre Jackson. Dre should play despite his limitations. Milwaukee needs him, but again, Doc is Doc."
Yeah, you guys would blame Doc for not finding a way to make Andre Jackson viable on offense, to be fair. So it's tough. But yeah, I do think in that matchup in particular, I do think he should play. Shout out to Jalen Clark as well. Really good for the Timberwolves.
Miracle Eero said, "Didn't the Warriors beat them twice this season without Butler?"
Yes,
I don't think you could take any of the Warriors OKC games with any sort of like relevancy for what could happen in the postseason. Steph didn't play in one of them. Chet got hurt in the first 5 minutes of another one. Isaiah Hartenstein didn't play in another one. Like none of these games like indicate anything that would happen in the playoffs. Like
kind of,
but injuries can happen in the playoffs too. So you know,
well,
yeah, but we're talking about like, I mean, when we assume playoff matches, we're talking about like what would happen assuming health. The first game they play, Chet gets hurt, and I think
why does he get hurt though, Mars?
Because he fell.
He can't deal with that Draymond physicality.
Wait,
now,
it was
Jimmy in there too.
It was actually Andrew Wiggins who's not on the team anymore. So like,
right.
Even then, you can't even use that argument because the guy
Andrew Wiggins got the mentality from Draymond. So
the guy who hurt Chet wasn't even there. And then the next game, obviously, that they played was the game that Steph didn't play.
Mm-hmm.
So for obvious reasons, that game doesn't mean anything. Steph's not there. You're not winning in the playoffs without Steph. And then the other one, Chet also wasn't there. So it's like, yeah, but it's like, this isn't OKC at full strength or Golden State at full strength. It just doesn't, it's not really telling you much.
Julius Charles said, yo, much love to the panel. Gave a small town man like me a chance on Saturday. Chilltown straight destroyed that man. Much love again.
There's no need for him to lie in the super chat, but shout out to him. Shout out to him. He did a good job. Hopefully he made it to the second round. And so did John D, even though they went against each other.
Mo with the super chat. Mo said, salute player's choice, dub chill, but stop hating on Harden.
I ain't hating. Tell the numbers to stop hating.
Just Rome said, Swiper, what the F is up with Denver and the average Joes? What's up with them average Joes, Swiper?
He lying like he wasn't the average Joe. He got it jacking in the closet.
Sam Burhane said, what if it was the Brunson contract? ? He takes less money. Would you give him a no trade clause?
It's never an option.
I'm as a GM, I'm speaking from a GM's perspective, a no trade clause would very rarely be on the table for me. And like it would have to be the most outstanding circumstance for me to give someone a no trade clause.
It just for me, it just depends. Like if it's a negotiation tactic, like if it's like, let's say for instance, I don't know. Let's say it is Jalen Brunson and he's a free agent. And let's say I'm one of 3 teams that's a potential suitor. And he's choosing out of us 3. I'll throw that no trade clause in. If that means me getting him, yeah, come on.
It would have to be a situation where it's like you're not going to be here without a trade clause, and it's only like 2 years max left on your contract. It's got to be, you know what I'm saying? It can't be any long-term deal. Have to be a very short contract.
Realist 123 said, also, Chill clearly won 3-0. Not having a camera is an automatic loss, too. Don't talk a big game if you can't show your face. What does it matter, bruh? With the super chat, what does it matter? Said fake run by the Warriors. They've beat like 3 good teams since Jimmy got there. This is the same as their start of the year beating cupcakes.
Yeah,
beat who's in front of you.
Same thing with the Timberwolves. I mean, the Timberwolves right now beating a bunch of bad teams, but whoever gets you in the playoffs on a good run of form and gets you in a good rhythm.
Yep.
Love Fadina said, shout out to Ant. Just passed Luka for the 4th most points before turning 24. Only behind KD, Braun, and Melo. Looking at another 30K point guy here.
Shout out to Melo.
For real.
And for sure. Shout out to
him. Realist 123 said Austin Reeves is the truth. Potential third team all NBA considering the 65 game requirement? ? Or am I bugging?
Yeah, you're bugging, my man. Yeah, you bugging, my man.
Yeah, you bugging.
Hey, but shout out Austin though. He really been cooking this year.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He better than James Harden.
Julius C, as you guys know him, he said Mike definitely held his own, but Chilltown still beat him handily.
Like I told y'all, I thought I was going to blow him out by 25, but I ended up winning by like 11 late. I pulled away late in the game.
Well, see, the thing about it, Chill, is Mike doesn't think that. He said Chill going home early, dub Cancun, and he typed that in all caps, so you know he means it.
Not this year, brother. I'm sorry. Maybe next year, but not this year, and definitely not by you.
If I were the judge.
See now, Mark, now you're jury tampering.
Of course.
everything else you said goes until you said if I was a judge.
Yes, sir.
Void Century said Miami tanking for a top 4 pick. Don't put that playoff shit on us, Ricky Bobby.
No, you guys are tanking now? Okay. Well, unfortunately, you guys aren't going to go below the 9 seeds because everyone else below you still sucks.
MTail22 said a lot of underdogs surprised me, and even one in my opinion. But I'm curious to see how the last 2 days go.
Me too. I got Renegade beating Gifted. I know that. SB is getting packed up. Like he's not. SB's not even a favorite. So SB's getting packed up.
That's today, right?
Tomorrow. Then me against Matthew. I see my topics. I think Matthew has a very good avenue of winning. Obviously, I'm gonna pick myself, but I think Matthew could beat me, assuming he knows what he's talking about. And then the next day, Riv and ZZ gonna be good. I got Riv.
Pen and Finesse.
Pen and Finesse wears I will probably not watch, but I will assume Pen wins. And then what's the other one? Pirate and Brax. Brax gonna bring it home, man. Brax gonna bring it home. I believe in Brax, and he definitely an underdog. But I'm a believer in Brax.
Shout out to Bandit.
I'm just curious to see Brax.
Mo said, "Chill is a LeBum fan. Anything he says is irrelevant. Sometimes respect Harden."
Nice.
James Harden, the best player in NBA history.
That's closer to him being worse as a playmaker than Tyrese Maxey.
No,
I could make a better argument. I could make a better argument that James Harden is the best player ever than Tyrese Maxey being a better playmaker than him.
No, you can't.
I could definitely do that. I could definitely do that.
No way.
Speaking of which, Maradi Tanzambi said Harden versus Maxey in 24-25 chill, not Maxey versus 2019 Harden. Also, Mars. Arsenal beat Madrid.
Oh, cool.
MP13 said, when Dale said KD was a better defender than Kawhi, I almost turned the video off. I would have lost my mind. I don't know how Ox didn't walk off the set.
Well, I wasn't trying to walk off the set. I was trying to walk to that hoop right behind us because Dale said we could both get up. But when I got up, somebody stayed seated. You know what I'm saying? So
Ox is always with the drama. Like,
I don't know.
Ox is hell, yo. Ox is that dude that you bring with you to the park. Oh my goodness!
I see a rim. I see a rim. I see a dude talking. I see lunch. You know what I'm saying? But everybody not. But you know what though, Mars? Everybody not about it though. A lot of dudes be talking that on the internet, and then when we get in person, oh, I got to do this, or I got to do that, or it's always something. See, I'm different though. I'll pull up any park in the country. Who want it?
You running 5.7 said I didn't know Kuz was this limited offensively. I regret the Chris Middleton trade day by day because his defense isn't enough to cover up. Dub Chris, you at least get to play and 2-man game with Giannis.
You'd at least get playmaking and a 2-man game with Giannis.
With Giannis, if Kuz not a scorer, he's no different than Torian Princess.
That's not true. He's a better transition player than Torian Princess. He can shoot the Prince. I'm sorry, he can shoot the basketball. I apologize. But that's just not true. That's not true at all. And the way that they're using Kuz, they just went up against the best defense in the league. Give me a break. All right, give me a break.
He hasn't been the best offensively,
but he's limited. We know that he's limited. He's always been limited as an offensive player. And the problem is that when he was in Washington, all those limitations they got magnified because they were doing everything that he's not good at. That's what made it worse. Now with Milwaukee, they're not doing everything that he's not good at. In fact, they're doing a lot of stuff that he's good at, and they're trying to get him acclimated to the offense, and it's working. And they just went up against the best defense in the league yesterday. That was the problem.
Chuck Ball Sports said, where was Swiper when the pool party started?
He was not a happy man on Twitter.
He was at the bottom of the pool. Triclops said Lou Dort will lock up everybody in that lineup.
I don't know what lineup he was alluding to, but I'm inclined to agree.
Cowboy Bob said,
I know he wasn't talking about us.
Yeah. Oh, I don't think so. Maybe I don't know.
I know he wasn't talking about us. Hey,
Because that's what we were talking about. We were talking about Oklahoma City and Sacramento.
Oh.
Yes, that's what we were talking about.
Yeah, Ludo could do a good job on everyone.
Zach LaVine shutting the door on that. Get that shit out of here.
He's not closing out fast enough. He can't close out fast enough.
No, my God. No, my God.
Debo snatching chains. You snatch chains in that neighborhood. You ain't snatching chains in this neighborhood.
He's taking that little chunk.
Hey, you know what, Chill?
There's different bullies around here.
Hey, Chill, he gonna all the chains
that
Debo snatch. Lou Dort gonna get them back for everybody and hand them back at halftime or after the game. Here, you can take your chain back. You take your chain back. You take your chain back. Don't trip. I got y'all. Cowboy Bob said,
Robin Hood now.
Cowboy Bob said Butler 90 in 2 games.
I don't know what that means.
I don't either. So notice nigga ain't getting 45 points in 2 games. So I PRA, I don't know. It can't even be PRA. I don't know what he's talking about.
Got to be talking about
no clue.
Playoffs.
And I know we got to move on. Ron, if we was doing our parlays, what's the over under? What's the more or less on Chamberlain? Like PRA.
Will?
Yeah, what's
Yo. Will PRA like 60.
It's more like 70, maybe 80.
We'll not even make the league.
40, 20, 10?
Something like that.
Mars, why would you even say something like that?
Because we're at the end of the show.
I'm saying like
I didn't even hear what Mark said, but Mo with the super chat said, "Shout out to my GOAT Harden. He's been balling." Can we give Harden some love?
Nah, we straight.
All right, I'm cool with that too. Emperor Beast Kato said, "Is Barkley better than this LeBron?" Is he?
Prime Barkley?
It's a conversation.
No, it's not.
No.
It's a conversation for Barkley to be in that conversation.
No.
Come on.
Barkley has never been better on any level.
What? So you're going that way with it? Yeah. So this LeBron's better than peak Barkley.
Yeah, come on.
89 to 93.
So you think Scottie Pippen's better than Barkley?
Do I think Scottie Pippen better than Barkley?
Do you? Because you say I remember the clip.
I do have. Because
you said Scottie Pippen was better than a 39-year-old.
I do have him ahead of Barkley. Yes, I do.
Scottie Pippen better than Charles Barkley. Hey,
I do have him ahead of Barkley. Yeah, I do.
Ox, you agree with that as well? So W.
Yeah, I agree with it. But I'm talking about I'm not even talking about Scottie Pippen. We're talking about
You said you like defense, and now you hear capable for Charles Barkley. Doesn't make sense.
MP13.
Y'all need to stop letting people lie to y'all like Barkley was a cone.
He said himself that he was a cone.
But when Nuggets, Jokic got good hands, but all of a sudden, hey, Barkley wasn't that bad on defense.
Barkley better on defense. Barkley better on defense than Jokic.
All right, nice. He's one pile of judo instead of 2.
That's better than 2.
Depends. How big is the power?
Less shit. You know what I'm saying?
It could be more just than 1 power.
MP13 said it's gonna be funny as hell trying to see Penn talk with a time limit.
Oh yeah, I didn't even factor that. Oh my god, I gifted too. Oh my god.
They just gonna talk fast. They just gonna talk faster. They just gonna double up their word count, double up their word count in that minute and 30. Y'all really gonna hear some yapping. You running 5.7 said, but chill. That transition stuff is a cop out with Kuz in the half court. Because Kuz is very questionable, especially in the playoffs when it slows down.
No, he isn't, because in the half court, they give him a lot of quick and go stuff, like a lot of quick catches and go. That's what they do with Kuz. A lot of like flare cuts, stuff like that, and get him wide open looks at the long ball line. So yeah, it'll work. Now
that he makes 29% of the time.
Yeah, well, that's fine. But as long as he can be respectable, that's it. That's all I'm
respecting him right now.
Yo, y'all make sure y'all respect that like button and respect the panel, man. Hey, hit the like button for your favorite podcast on your favorite streaming platforms. Do us that favor. Also, Christian Waiter sent through a super chat and said, Butler deserves some credit for Golden State Warriors streak and Miami.
He does. 100% he does.
Fit Jones said top 16 playoffs, flatten the lotto.
So everyone has the same odds if you're in the bottom 14? Is that what flattening the lottery?
I'm assuming so, yeah. I mean, it forces everybody to compete at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Fitton Jones said, read the ESPN Ashiba conversation. He won't rebuild.
He's standing on business, man. He believe in the roster for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Duke did it. Shout out to Duke did it. He's a wild card in the PCL. He said, shout out PC. Shout out Duke did it.
Shout out Duke did it.
Mad Max Sports Talk said, ISO Joe or Jaylen Brown, chill.
One's a finals MVP. Just remember that.
I'll take Jaylen Brown over ISO Joe.
There you go.
Average Joe said, chill. Doc is 7 games over 500, not 17. It's bad.
He's 9 this season, and they didn't have a losing record last year.
They did. They were 17 and 19. With him.
Last year?
With him, yes. They were 17 and 19.
Well, he came out there with what, 30 and 13 or something?
They
Something
were
like
40 and something. 30 and something. Yeah, 30 and 13 maybe.
Right.
30 and 13,
Yeah.
And that didn't count. He was cleaning
and then
up.
and then he went 17 and 19. So
he was cleaning up the mess from,
Right.
oh boy, like he had to come in and do
the
what he
mess
had
that
to
had
do.
them in what, like the 3 seed or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, come on.
So messy. Yeah.
Had to do some house cleaning. Dame the Dream 91 said Amari had to tell Melo to buy after the trade.
Man, Melo just came and ruined everything Amari had going on in New York. Should have kept that original.
Amari was going to beat them Steve Nash allegations, and then Melo came and ruined it.
It was working too. It was working.
He was
It
being
was
them
100% working.
allegations. Being
Yes,
them
it was.
allegations.
It was working.
Melo should have kept his ass out the way.
D Drone said, where would the Clippers be without Harden this season?
Well, I don't got to make it the playoffs anyway, so they would not make the playoffs.
So they'd be in the same place according to Chill.
Yeah, I don't got to make.
I
the playoffs
agree.
Anyway, so.
They'd be in a better position with Tyrese Maxey. That's all I know.
Isn't Tyrese Maxey on the Sixers?
That's all I know.
Like, what?
Yes, he is. But I know we gonna get rid of them in the second round of the play-in, though.
All right, y'all. And last but not least, Cowboy Bob sent us the last super chat of the day saying Butler did it against the Bucks. Can we see it again?
Oh, I thought that's what he was alluding to, but I didn't know for sure. I didn't want to assume. I mean, you could if you go back and rewatch those games.
There you have it. And you know what you guys need to go back and rewatch? Go back and rewatch the PCL from this last weekend. If you missed Saturday, you missed a hell of a day. And if you missed Sunday, you missed possibly one of the greatest days in Players' Choice history. All right, y'all. We will be back tomorrow to talk about whatever we're going to be talking about. Y'all just be sure to pull up the playback tomorrow night after the PCL and pull up the playback Wednesday night after the PCL. And we will see you bright and early in the morning. We out, fellas.
Later. Yo. Yeah.